Alright players, before we press start on today's episode, it's time to give a big retro shout out to our top tier supporters, keeping the pixels glowing and the cartridges clean. At the 64-bit Legend tier, these are the final bosses of support. Much love to Oriok, Zero, and Mr. Arkansas. Over in the 16-bit Adventurer tier, our heroic party includes Tetra Folly, Gage P, and Marcus Q. You're powering us up big time. And at the 8-bit Explorer tier, give it up for the classic crew. Wobeeyert, Werkun Warden, Gaming Quarterly, and Big Nick Dika. Keeping it old school and awesome. You legends are the cheat code to keeping this show running. Thank you all for your incredible support. I'll keep grinding to bring you content worthy of your high scores. Now grab your controller, hit that start button, and let's jump into the episode.
Hey there! Welcome to Retro Reloaded. I'm your host Lance, and each week I tackle a retro game shaped by your picks. If you want a chance to choose next week's game or unlock exclusive bonus episodes and polls, join me on Patreon at patreon.com/retroreloaded. There's even a free tier to dip your toes in. Big thanks for all of your love and support. It means the world to me. Now let's hit the start button and reload those retro vibes.
And with all that out of the way, thank you for tuning to another Retro Reloaded Pixel panel. And I'm your guest host again, Wobeeyert. Today I have a special guest host willing to talk about something that we both find very passionate, Tetra Folly. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi there. This is going to definitely be an interesting conversation, I think.
I'm a little worried it'll be a nice long one, but I like long podcasts, so that's okay. Today we're going to be discussing the Zelda series as a whole. Not so much of a review, but we're going to discuss it from start to finish. But we're not going to go and release. I think timeline, we agreed, would be a little bit easier. And if you don't know the Zelda timeline, that's not my fault.
You'll find out what the Zelda timeline is in this episode.
Exactly. And of course, to start it off, we have Skyward Sword. How did you feel playing the game?
Actually really liked Skyward Sword. And I mean, some people found, because this was where they introduced the mechanics of things breaking because the shield could break. But they also made it so much easier to just repair it and fix it. And
yeah, that's something that I wish that they had retained, was the ability to repair things.
That would have been so great.
I know. We'll get to that.
And then they also made it so that you could get the Hylian shield in a very, very convoluted way.
Oh, it was
the one shield that did not break.
In fairness, the sacred shields would heal, which was something. Yes. They would auto repair, but like the Hylian shield, whenever I get it in that game, I just feel so accomplished.
Oh yeah, no, you feel so accomplished getting that sword, that shield, that thing is.
But it's funny because by that point, I'm like perfect blocking everything, so it's like.
You still feel accomplished.
Yeah, exactly. Did you first play it on the Wii?
I actually did. I didn't have at our house. We didn't have Wii Motion. I remember because I was in 8th grade, because I will always remember this, because I was at my grandparents down south for a little while, for like a week or two, and he had it, and he had Wii Motion Plus on his. For his Wii, he had like the little battery packs, not the built-in controllers.
Oh, the little
he had the
the
attachment ones. And so I was trying to play Skyward Sword and failing miserably at it. But since I was only there for like a week or two, I didn't get a chance to really finish the game. Now, as an adult, I have it for the Switch, and let me say, buttons mode was like the best thing they could have added for that game.
Okay, so I first played it. Actually, like probably as a young adult, like back in my early 20s. But I ordered the special edition online because I was going through a phase. I got that gold Wiimote and everything, and I played through it, and I really had a good time. But damn, that button mode just makes it so much better.
Oh, it does.
When I found out about the button mode and the stick controls, I ordered the Switch version like immediately.
I did also pick up the Joy-Cons I have the
Yeah.
Joy-Cons, and
Same.
I also picked up, because I was like, in the event I actually want to mess with motion controls, I picked up the little, you could insert a Joy-Con into a little sword.
Okay, I'm not even joking. I can't tell you the number of times that was in my Amazon cart. But I would keep telling myself, Rob, you're not going to play with the motion control. Well, what if I do? Then you just play it on the Wii, but the Switch one's better. As far as how did you find the story? A lot of people didn't like Skyward Sword. That's changed over time, which usually does with Zelda because of its linearity.
I never understood why people, because here's the thing, you have to remember a lot of the Zelda games are linear
Yeah.
to an extent, aside from the side quests.
Yeah, of course. That's
So for
how
the most
I've
part,
always
they
felt.
are. And I did like how, because I did like that version of Zelda. She was interesting, and how can we forget the great character that is Groose?
Oh, one of the goats.
Best character ever. He dives into the
He's
thing
just-
after you.
Yeah, I
He's got
love
this
him. Like, you
cannon.
hate him at the start, but at the end of it, I'm like, yeah, that's my boy! Setting up cannons to fight the imprisoned. He's like, hey, Link, I see you've been slacking. I'm like, did you make a catapult?
Hey, proof that he does have brains,
Yes.
which is kind of funny considering he seems like a bit of an idiot when you first meet him, but
Now, there's so much I love about this game, if I'm being honest. I've always wondered why people disliked it so much, but I've heard a common complaint is you have to go back to the same areas and they're just slightly different, but like, okay.
did no one play Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, thank
Or
you.
Majora's Mask?
Majora's Mask's whole concept is doing the same thing over and over.
Hell, Wind Waker!
Oh, yeah.
Don't get us started on that Triforce quest.
Okay, well, oh yeah, I can't wait to touch on that one. But I love the side quests. Even the gratitude crystals seemed a little off-putting at first, but
They seemed a little pointless, but then you seeing the guy so happy at the end.
yeah, like I actually felt good about finishing it at the end.
Yeah.
One thing I do have to commend, I did actually enjoy that you can upgrade your items.
Oh, that was great.
I really liked that.
The
story was pretty good too. For the origin of the Master Sword. Now, there is a stark difference between Wii and Switch, because I first played it on the Wii and I remember thinking when I play through Skyward Sword on the Switch, Fi better not, whatever I call her Fi, she better not pop up every 2 damn minutes.
Can I just point out, I find it really, really funny how we haven't really had another companion since Fi.
Now,
I would prefer
hurts.
Navi.
Yeah.
Because everyone likes to diss on Navi's like, hey, look, listen, but then you also have to realize like the journey you go on with Navi is a bit more substantial overall than it is with Fi. I mean, sure, Fi basically just seals herself into a sword, but then you see Navi leave at the end of the game and you actually feel sad.
Yeah. I didn't mind Fi. I didn't like Fi in the Wii version, but in the Switch version, I didn't mind her.
I think they did that on purpose.
Yeah. They definitely had to tone it down.
That was, I think, that was my biggest complaint, was her doing that all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, couldn't you have it like Midna, where Midna only occasionally would bug you?
Oh, we'll get to Midna.
I love Midna.
Casual, repeat listeners will probably know my take on Midna.
Oh no.
I was a young boy.
I can gather.
Yeah, probably.
I was, because let's see, hold on. I'm trying to remember what year Skyward Sword came out compared to Twilight Princess.
Oh my god, I know, I am too.
Because I'm like, I remember I was in 8th grade when Skyward Sword came out, which would have been 2012?
Yeah, probably around 2011.
2012, somewhere around there.
Around there. I want to say 2011. Or is it? No, it wasn't 2010, was it?
Hold on. Internet, help me. It was the end of 2011.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. It's funny because I skipped right past it when it first came out. I don't know. I was like 19 or something. I had other things to not focus on. But then like
Shows you the age difference between us. I'm like, I was in 8th grade when that game
Yeah.
came out.
yeah, I was like 19. Yeah, no. So like going back to it though, it's one of those games where I can always like because I usually play through a Zelda game usually like maybe once every month or two. But with this one, I always love going back because the puzzles are pretty unique. A lot of people don't like the motion control, but it's especially with the Switch version. We can't stress this enough. It's so much better, so much more manageable.
Yeah, I will say the funniest thing to me about the Switch release trailer for that was when they straight up were like, oh, by the way, first thing mentioned in the trailer, I swear, was, look, button controls!
And I was very happy with that. Very,
Yes, they
very
were.
happy. I love the story of how it starts the whole thing. It starts the cycle.
Yeah, just start the whole thing.
It goes all the way to Demise. And spoiler warnings, of course. But you fight at the end, Demise, and he curses Link. And he looks like what Ganondorf would look like if he was a pure demon. And I love that it just like an origin story for his repeat return.
Why there's the reincarnation of the spirit of the hero and the
Instead of it just
princess with the
being-
sacred power and
Yeah, it was a little strange. The one part was that Zelda was just like Hylia in a human body.
the original Zelda was.
Yeah.
So in Skyward Sword she was. Every other one just has the blood of the goddess.
Yeah, it's just a little strange to me for that part.
It is a little weird.
But
it's like,
I
you know
I
what?
could deal with it.
It works.
Yeah. I liked all the characters. There were so many colorful characters in it too.
I know. They were so great.
There was just like I love the girl that you can either break her heart or like lead her on.
I can't remember what
I
her
think
name
it starts
was,
with
but
a
she was
P,
the
Patricia.
I think maybe it was Patricia. She was the item check girl.
Yeah, and I always the first
Did you
time I
always
did
break
it,
her
I like
heart?
let her on. But then every time I went there, she was just like simping over me, and I was kind of just like,
I can't do
I don't
it.
know. And then there's the hand. You can tell the hand. You can drop the love letter into the toilet,
yeah.
and the hand just like caresses that sleeping guy.
Okay, can I just say I really, really, really need the story behind the hand.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Considering
Why is it just
it's
a
also
hand in a toilet.
Majora's Mask has it.
I know, and even on like Oracle of Ages is too. Like, is it just an inside joke?
I guess. At
I don't
this
know,
point, they're
it's
just
weird.
like, it's just a reoccurring theme, the hand in the toilet that we're not going to explain.
Yeah, it's creepy, but it's weirdly fitting. I like the
Shows how
loft
weird
wing.
It just shows how weird the world is. But yeah, no, Loft Wings. Loft Wings were cool. I was kind of sad that we didn't have Epona, but
But I like the loft wing.
I did like the Loft Wing. I also love how the story also kind of gave an explanation for the outfit of the hero was literally just a knight's uniform.
It's just like, oh, by the way, this year's green. Here you go. And they throw it at him. I'm like, that's why it's green? It just happened?
By sheer dumb luck.
It's just sheer dumb luck. That it's just like, I thought there'd be something significant, but they're like, okay, so last year was yellow, this year's green. Here you go.
And then it just is like every other generation doesn't realize that the outfit of the hero was literally just a luck of the draw. You could have ended up with like pink or something.
I know, right? I kind of like that. Overall, I really enjoyed the game. And okay, there's so many recurring species that you see in the Zelda series. You know, the omission of Deku was kind of interesting, but they're kind of like Koroks. I don't even remember what the hell those little kiwi things are.
Kiwis.
Q. Yeah, those. It's weird that they probably evolved into some other weird thing. But the mole people.
Oh yeah, the mole people were cool.
Why did they just disappear?
I don't know.
They were funny. I liked them. Like you see Gorons. I don't think you see Zora, do you?
No, you do see Zora. I think you
do.
see Zora.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, because you have to save the But you don't see those mole people ever again.
I know.
The Magma? I think that's what they were.
Yeah, the Magmas.
Yeah, the Magmas. But they were like witty and funny, and I didn't mind them. But
like, wait, you want to go in?
Yeah. All right, follow me, and he like digs, and he just stands there, and he comes back. What are you doing?
You can't.
What?
Dig?
You can't dig?
Yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Overall, really enjoyed Skyward Sword.
Yep, and
Good
I'm glad that
point.
people. I'm glad people nowadays are seeing
coming
how
around.
nice.
Yeah,
yeah, coming around to it.
Yeah, same. It's kind of weird because like, same happened with Wind Waker. I think it's just a Zelda thing to just not be popular for a couple years, then come back.
I mean, Wind Waker's thing was the Triforce quest is what killed people on it.
Oh, it was terrible.
At least they fixed that in the HD.
Yeah, they did.
All right, let's see timeline. What's the next game?
Minish Cap.
I never actually played Minish Cap, though I have seen interesting things about that hat.
Eslo.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, I a lot of people have. I've seen lots of clips of that hat.
Okay, one moment, Tetra, because I have a warning saying high voice server latency, so I think we'll start a recording again.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to cut it. Lance, if you can hear this, so next is Eslo. Minish Cap. You've never played.
I've never played Minish Cap. I didn't. The main thing was I didn't get a chance to really play some of the handheld Zelda games.
Oh, don't worry. I'll completely carry from this point. I'm very well versed in all the handhelds. Minish Cap. I didn't like it for the longest time. I had played it when I was a teenager. Then again as an adult, but I just started playing it recently, like a month or so ago. And I think it's because I'm not forcing myself to go through the timeline in order, and I've done that, and it's kind of arduous.
I haven't done that. At least tried to do that, but then I got stuck on Skyward Sword. So
I think I stopped it. I think I stopped at at Wind Waker.
The problem when the timeline splits is you got to figure out which timeline to do first.
Yeah, that's the thing. So going back, it's really charming. It's a Game Boy Advance game, so they're about 32-bit, right? But they put a lot of attention to detail in all of the sprites, all of the characters, the enemies, the bosses. And this is the one thing I love is when I look at something in a pixelated game and I don't have to guess what it is. That means to me, it's good pixel art. Picori.
Everything I've seen of Minish Cap, the pixel art is like amazing, especially
beautiful
when you compare it to the other pixel games in the series. It's pretty good.
It's a big jump because like I can't even say that Link to the Past is handheld because it was a Super Nintendo first, but like the Picori, the little tiny people, because you shrink down to Minish size, you go into their little tiny houses and they'll have like an inkwell for like their wash basin, and they'll have like a little cup as a bed. And then the one that really made me laugh is they had pictures on the walls. But I looked at them like, what the hell? Are those pictures? They're stamps, because stamps are big to them. So they put stamps on the wall like they're picture frames.
That's pretty good.
They're cute, and the bosses aren't bad. The items are probably the only part that I really don't feel like I love. They're kind of serviceable. And they tried to do a Twilight Princess like battle technique thing in this game, where the further along you get, you can unlock more abilities. Like there's you get a roll, and then you can turn it into like a sword slash, like. And then you have to learn how to run with your sword out with the Pegasus boots, which is a little weird.
I think they did that and then perfected it in Twilight Princess, that sort of thing, considering Minish Cap came out first.
Yeah, and Minish is just a bit, it's 2D. So, like, the sword abilities are cool. I feel like I forget that, like, three of them are even a thing until I'm like, oh yeah, I can thrust my sword downward when I use the cape. Forgot that. The story is interesting. I like how it introduces Vati. Speaking of which, Nintendo, can you please give us Vati back at some point? We would really like a new enemy.
I didn't remember where he popped I didn't remember what the first official game of him it was. So now I know it's Minish Cap.
So yeah, the first appearance from Vaati was in Four Swords, and Link to the Past.
Yeah.
But this is his origin story. So he was like a Picori, but he wasn't very like good. He was being taught under Eslo, and Eslo made a hat that can apparently make people's wishes come true. So Vaati, being the edgy teen, he's like, well, I want to be the strongest sorcerer in the world, and then he becomes evil. And then they try to introduce the Minish sword, what it turns out to be the Four Sword, spoiler alert, which is, I find it interesting that they kept trying to make the Four Sword into like a second Master Sword.
To be fair, the idea of the Four Sword actually is really cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is. Because in this game, there's little panels that you charge your sword and then you stand on, and it makes duplicate links. Like they're just little like silhouettes, but they can still push things and they can still help you move around and activate switches. But they can't attack. At least not till later, I don't think. But I love that it evolves from here. Like Minish Cap it's actually a really good like little origin point. You get to see a lot of recurring characters. You see Malon and Talon, surprisingly.
Interesting.
And for the longest time, I hated the Kinstones. But now going back and playing it now, I kind of prefer them. Because usually in a Zelda game, when you're going about the overworld and you're just like, oh, there's a chest over there, I'll go get it. Then that's just it. It's just done. But in this one, you have to like fuse the Kinstones, and then it just drops a little light, and it's like, hey, there's a new chest that appeared over here. I'm like, okay, I got to find out where that is now. And I got to hunt this thing.
Sounds like an interesting game.
It really is. It's definitely worth a play. And I didn't give it enough credit because, I was on the first Retro Reloaded episode with Oracle of Ages and Seasons, and I said that I thought it was mid. And I gotta eat crow on this one, I gotta say. I needed to give it another chance, and I definitely think it's a game to take your time with. That said, it has one of the worst collectibles in the entirety of the Zelda series.
Oh no.
Even in some ways beating Korok seeds.
Oh no.
Because in this game, you have collectibles that are figurines, just like Wind Waker had. But with this one, there's like, oh my god, I think there's like 200 or something stupid. There's probably more. Feel free to correct me in the comments, but you have to spend the secret seashells on them. And it's a gamble mechanic. So if you've ever played Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and you know about the trophy dispenser, you have to add more to be able to get a higher percentage. Now keep in mind, there's like 200 of these things. And every time that you have to roll for one, you have to talk to the guy by walking to the lever. He'll ask you how many shells you want to put in. Then you got to pull the lever. Then it opens the egg. Then it shows you the figure. And then he'll tell you, yay, you knew one. Or, oh, hey, you have a repeat. Here's 5 rupees. And he doesn't even ask if you want to roll again. You have to you just tap up. But you still have to start the conversation over.
That sounds so tedious.
It is so tedious. And you have to get every figurine in order to get every single piece of heart.
So in order to 100% the game.
In order to 100% the game, you need to get every figurine so you can unlock this stupid door just to get one piece of heart.
Wow.
You also have to beat the game in order to get all of the figurines. So you can't even beat it with full hearts. You can't. Because you have to beat the game, then you can unlock the last of the figurines, then get the figurines, and then you get the piece of heart, and then there you go.
That's something.
Yeah, it's painful. But the rest of the game is beautiful.
Good thing I don't tend to like to 100% games unless it's at this moment Majora's Mask, but
yeah, that's manageable though.
Yeah.
That was before they went to the collectathon route,
I'm not crazy enough to try to collect all the Korok seeds or
Same.
figurines. Maybe when I get back to streaming, I'll stream Minish Cap because I've never played the game. I only know of the hat.
It's definitely something to take your time with. And I have to warn you, okay?
Okay.
You need a red kinstone piece, and there's a guy to the west, in the west part of Hyrule Town, that you need to fuse with that'll open a portal to like an area later in the game, and you have to save an old man.
You have to save an old man from a ghost
before you go up into the sky. Because if you reach the place where the old man is through normal progression, you are locked out of a bow upgrade.
Okay.
It's literally immiscible light arrows.
Okay. Good to know.
That bothered me as a kid because I didn't know. I was going through the story, okay? So I got through it, and then my brother's like, why aren't you using the better arrows? And he's like a year younger, like 2 years younger than me, right? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, so he loads his game, and I'm like, what the hell? You have light arrows? He's like, yeah. Well, how'd you get them? He's like, you go through the portal near Link's house. Because I skipped the Kinstones. I didn't care about the Kinstones. I wanted to play a Zelda game. I didn't want to make puzzles and then open chests, you know? I want to get the next cool upgrade for my sword.
I will say,
it turns out that I'd messed it. So.
I do tend to be the type that the reason why I love the Zelda series is I actually really like a lot of the puzzles. That's why I kind of don't care much for Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, was because they kind of dumbed down the puzzles a little bit.
Oh yeah, we'll get to those. We'll get to those.
We'll get to those eventually.
Might be a couple of hot takes, but don't worry, I don't dislike the games.
I don't dislike them either. Just some thoughts on those.
Minish Cap is definitely a game worth playing.
Okay. Maybe I'll stream it.
Do you know what's next in the timeline order, Tetra?
Four Swords!
Four Swords, Game Boy Advance.
Because Body is around. Anniversary.
Yeah. This was the part, so the story's very minimal. But I will say, I have very fond memories of playing this with my brother. It was weird that it was like not the same dungeon layout each time you go through, and it was more of just like a casual
random generation.
Yeah, but I still liked it overall. I just can't really rate it very highly because it's not very diverse.
I never really played it, but I've seen enough to know that when they did Four Swords Adventure, definitely top tier upgrade.
Oh, Adventure, that holds a special place for me.
It's a great game.
But yeah, Four Swords is one of those ones. It's cool to see Vadi come back. I like what they did with the color specific attacks and puzzles. Those were neat. Were like only green player could see the green panels, only the red player could see the red. They had a lot of unique ideas. It felt like it could have been fleshed out more, and it was later on.
Yeah, I really wish they brought Four Swords Adventure back.
Yeah, or at least a way to play Anniversary. Besides suspicious ways of obtaining it.
I mean...
But we won't say that on the podcast because Nintendo will flag Lance.
Yeah, probably.
That's pretty easy to glaze over this one.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about with Four Swords because the game was more of like a bunch of mini games, as you said.
This is a little competitive mini game. That's about it.
And
it was cool though that in the dual pack, when you beat the game, you unlock a new temple in A Link to the Past, and that was so awesome. And then if you get the Master Sword in A Link to the Past, you can shoot beams from your sword in Four Swords, and then you also get the Hurricane Spin in A Link to the Past.
Yeah, that probably was like the best little thing between because A Link to the Past was kind of put in with Four Swords because of the anniversary thing.
I really like that you could unlock things between the games, but at the same time, the problem with that is you would need somebody with another Game Boy Advance and with that game and a link cable.
Yep.
It wasn't really user-friendly, was all. But still cool.
All right, now we get to
the big one next?
Yes, it's the big one. It's the great one.
Now Tetra's ready to pop off.
I love Ocarina of Time. I'm sorry.
It holds a special place.
It'll hold a special place in everyone's hearts, let's be honest.
It's definitely dated, but it's still simple and intricate enough that it's still a decent enough game.
The story, I actually really like the story. I've got
a first foray into weird time travel.
Yeah, I've got a hat that has like this Legend of Zelda symbol on it on the green portion, but on the brim it's got Link and Volvagia on it. And it looks really cool. The
bosses of that game.
Oh my god, the bosses
weren't more memorable, were they?
Yeah, because you had
Jesus.
Volvagia, in my opinion, one of the best looking bosses ever.
One of the best. Until
Volvagia
you look
just looks
closely and you notice
cool.
this weird dangly little arms as it flies and it clips through
But he
itself.
still looks so cool.
So cool. There's Phantom Ganon. There's Bongo Bongo.
First introduction of Goma.
I didn't like Morpha. I hated Morpha. It was just water in a ball.
Yeah, Morpha was annoying. But that also was, the infamous water temple.
And then Twin Rova. Like, even the kid ones were awesome.
We got to meet
Bongo. Damn.
We got to meet Goma and stuff like that. And
yeah.
Goma is kind of a reoccurring, at least the similarities to Goma in later games.
Yeah, there's an armored Goma in Skyward Sword. There's another Goma later on. There's in all the handhelds, there's usually a Goma.
Yeah, and it all came because, to be fair, Goma was actually a really great, first boss.
Oh, it was horrifying, too, because I was young.
I recently was replaying Ocarina of Time, and I didn't realize that you could actually kill Goma before Goma even dropped to the ground.
There's so many ways to cheese the fights in that game. I love it.
Actually, I think it was when I was streaming, though. Unfortunately, I lost that save file because I was playing through my computer, and when my computer had a glitchy reset.
Oh no!
So I lost that save file.
So that's the Hero Falls timeline that you.
Yeah, clearly. Clearly.
That's where it starts, guys. See, there we go. It's just continuity coming up right here.
But I made the discovery. I'm like, oh, you can kill Goma before Goma even attacks you.
The speed runs for this game, by the way, are wild.
They're insane.
If you watch them, they're so crazy. How they figure this stuff out is insane.
I know.
And I just love watching somebody with a broken Deku stick with the infinite swing glitch just standing by Ganon's tail. It's like it just keeps on flinching, and I'm just like, oh, this is cool. This doesn't make me feel terrible.
So Ocarina of Time is the first Zelda game I ever played. Or as family members like to point out, the first one that I ever technically picked up. Because I was actually Ocarina of Time was 97, 98?
Yeah, around there.
Guess what? I was about a year old in 98 when this game came out. Oh, you
picked it up. Gotcha. Picked it up. Okay.
Well, no. So what happened was my aunt was babysitting me when I was 3 or 4.
Oh, I think I remember the story.
Yeah, I put in a comment in the Ocarina of Time podcast episode. So my aunt had the Ocarina of Time, and I was like, I want to play that game because I had seen my dad playing it, and she was shocked at the fact that I was just running around in the game. I was putting the sword back and pulling it back out. I was running around killing things, just racing around with the Master Sword.
That was the first introduction to the real Master Sword too.
Yeah, and then Ocarina of Time Link's the first cosplay I ever made.
Oh, I remember that one too.
Because I made my little brother. We were like, we want to do Legend of Zelda characters, and I'm like, I'm gonna do Link, and my little brother was like, I want to also be Link, and my sister said she wanted to be Sheik, so I'm like, well, how about we make him young Link and I'll be adult Link?
Oh, I like that a lot.
And we made him a Deku shield and Kakiri sword. And I made myself the Master Sword, and I had my own Hylian shield.
Okay, so if I have a baby boy, then that's what we're doing.
Because my little brother is 11 years younger than me. God, he's going to be junior in high school this year. I feel old. Dude. But yeah, no, we did that a few years ago because he's also a lot shorter than me. And so it made it a little easier to do. I also am learning how to play the ocarina because of this game.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. You and we discussed about how we have the glass ocarinas and we were going to try and learn them. I won't do that. I have no musical talent.
I can play the Song of Time.
I can't play anything. I can play Guitar Hero and DJ Hero. I should stream that.
Ooh, you should. I used to do more rock.
Stream rave. Put your hands up. Getting off track.
But yeah, no, Ocarina of Time definitely will always hold a special place in my heart. I love this game. I know some people are like, oh, this game's better. I'm like, yeah, but Ocarina of Time will always stand out to me.
That's the thing, is that this wasn't the first Zelda game I owned. I had played through up to like the Fire Temple one summer when I went to go visit my father, because he lived in a different province, which is like a state, but better. And we played a bunch of it, and I fell in love with it. And I remember I got a N64 that year for like Christmas or my birthday, and I wanted a Zelda game, but Majora's Mask had come out by that point. So the first Zelda game I owned was Majora's Mask. But guess what Majora's Mask didn't come with? An expansion card. Donkey Kong 64 did, but not Zelda Majora's Mask. So I pop it into my N64, finally get to play as young Link, and it won't work.
That was a pain.
Eventually we got one, like my mom had to put some money aside and get me one. I don't remember how, I think they were like $30-$40 or something, but she got me one, and then that was the first Zelda game I had ever played through was Majora's Mask. But Ocarina of Time, because that was the first 3D Zelda I had played, I just remember, I can see now why people say this Zelda game is better than Ocarina of Time. Yeah, objectively that's true. But if you weren't there at that time and it didn't impact you the way that it did, then it probably eschews my vision, which is fair. But it was such a big game and so impressionable. It was beautiful.
It's even funnier to think about the fact that it was Ocarina of Time. They actually originally had an idea to have paintings and portraits.
Yes.
But they eventually then used that in Super Mario 64, as everyone would know by now.
I think it's funny how they switched them like that.
And they reused it. However, the one slight hint there was a few hints at previous development stages for the game. Like for instance, the forest stage, they were originally going to do a wind stage, which would explain why in Wind Waker the wind stage is a Kakiri.
And why the medallion looks like it's wind, not a leaf.
And why in the final the final dungeon of the game, why the forest area has wind puzzles as opposed to the forest temple sort of puzzles. So that's kind of why that's one of the developmental stages. And then also the hint at the portraits and the paintings was in like the forest temple where you got Phantom Ganon busting out of the different paintings. That's kind of also a hint to that previous developmental stage.
Yeah, they were going to do it all in Ganon's castle.
Yep.
That's cool. I love learning like production stuff like that.
Yep.
I love how they weren't sure how big they could make Hyrule Field, so they just like made it huge, big. And it's like, does it work? And they're like, yeah. Oh man, this is slow. What about the horse idea? What about the horse idea? And then they didn't put Epona in for Young Link because they thought that the model looked weird. And then they only gave it to Adult Link.
And then you had
to. And then Majora's Mask, it's just Young Link on the Epona.
To be fair, Young Link in Majora's Mask is a little older.
He's a little. I swear, he's a little.
He is a little bit bigger.
He's got to be.
He is, because otherwise the Hylian shield wouldn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Right, because like the way it does. When you look from game to game, it might look the same, but there's definitely.
Technically speaking, I think he technically is a little taller.
Also, I think it's the hero shield because he doesn't actually get the Hylian shield. Oh, that always bothered me. Why doesn't he use a Hylian shield?
In which game?
In Majora's Mask, it's the hero's shield.
I think they technically label it as the hero shield. When in reality, it is technically the Hylian shield.
It looks like slightly different, but close enough. And I don't know why they changed that.
It was so weird.
It's so strange. Like, you guys already had the perfect shield that just screamed Link.
Yeah. I will always love Ocarina of Time. It will still forever be my favorite.
I know a lot of people still scoff at it, like, "Oh my god, really? It's not one of the greatest of all times." But you have to remember, it brought a lot to gaming as a whole too.
When I play games, especially older ones, I typically will put my brain into the perspective of someone of when this game first came out.
Yeah,
that's how I approach the games. Like, for instance, when I recommended Dragon's Lair, I obviously didn't play it in the 80s. That was me. Oh. I obviously didn't play it in the 80s when it first came out. I played it on PC years later when my dad introduced me to the game.
That's fair.
And so I put my brain into the perspective of someone who
Got robbed.
seen this in the arcade.
Yeah, if you listen to the episode, that's what Lance and I kind of do. I'll give it like a nowadays score and a back then score. And Lance is like 2 out of 10. If it was in the arcade, I wouldn't have touched it. I'm like, I don't know, man. I probably would have been standing around waiting for someone to get to Princess Daphne.
I haven't had time to listen to that episode. I should.
You recommended it.
I know. I haven't gotten around to it. I've been busy, okay?
I love that I'm getting married in 2 days and I'm still hosting in for Lance. Love you, Lance.
Oh yeah, no, if you didn't notice in the Discord, he's like, you remember how to get Craig to join?
Yep. Back on track, I guess, eh?
Eventually.
We know. Oh man, there's still so much to talk about Ocarina. There's a lot of games to go.
Water Temple.
Okay, yeah, let's get that out of the way. I have to be honest with you. Never saw the big issue. Now,
I never did either. It was really funny because my friends when I was in high school, they're like, oh yeah, we're playing the Water Temple or whatnot, and that's so hard. And then there's me, and they were playing on the 3DS version. I went back home and played on the N64, and I'm like, what's the big deal?
Which is night and day, too. That's the thing. It's like, I remember, even when I was young, didn't have much of a problem pausing and going and switching my boots. The 3DS version made it leagues easier, and I will prefer that.
I will say what would have made the Water Temple easier would have been the just one button push for the boots.
Absolutely.
Where instead of going into the menu, that just made it tedious. But the idea of because the 3DS version, because I have played through that one too, has it so that the walls are marked with where the different things are. That is a really big difference.
Yeah, they did a lot of quality of life things in there.
Yeah, I will say that was the proper way to kind of do an upgrade sort of thing, because they knew that everyone's biggest complaint was the Water Temple.
Did you ever get soft locked?
I never did.
Apparently you can, and
How?
I didn't. I don't know. I had to look it up years ago, and I was like, "You can get soft locked here," because someone was like, "Yeah, I got locked in here. I accidentally used the wrong key or something weird like that," and I was.
Oh wait, I've heard about that. You use the
right?
wrong key, and then you soft lock the game.
Yeah, I just find that astounding.
Yeah,
I think they did something to prevent that in the 3DS remake too, but I never had that issue anyways.
Yeah, I never had that problem.
Like even the N64 version, I still hold in high regard.
And as mentioned, the 3DS version, they did have it so that each of the different symbols for the different water levels was color coded, and they had lines going to each of them. Yeah.
I always forget that that's a 3DS thing.
I had bigger issues with the Shadow Temple than I did the Water Temple.
That's fair, because something about it. I just did a Master Quest playthrough recently, so I'm trying to remember how the original Shadow Temple was laid out. But I hate the boat.
The boat was annoying.
It was just.
It was annoying.
The worst part is I'm ready to fight more, and then it's start shaking, and then Navi's like, "Oh no, we should get out of here." And when I was a kid, I didn't know where I was supposed to go. I thought I was supposed to stay on the boat, so I fell to my death, and I had to do the whole thing over.
Yeah.
A lot of cool puzzles in the game, though.
Yeah. And I will say that Ocarina of Time did do, because a lot of people's biggest complaint with some of the earlier games are the difficulty, and then nowadays some of the bigger complaints is again the difficulty, but instead making the game too easy. And Ocarina of Time kind of balanced that pretty well.
Yeah. Also, I felt really awesome having the big Goron sword.
Oh yeah, big Goron sword was cool.
I love the big Goron sword. I always do this weird thing when I play through Master Quest where I only use a sword and no shield. So when I get the big Goron sword, I will go back in time, equip the Hylian shield to Link, have them eat it. And then when I go back to an adult, I have just the big Goron sword on my back with no shield.
Yeah, big Goron sword's cool.
It's weird because it's a two-handed sword. You can't use your shield. So I'd always be like, hey, why can't I unequip my shield? So I just get it eaten, go back as an adult, and then I'd have no shield.
Yep.
It looks so much better to me.
I also did like how they differentiated the Hylian shield from the Deku shield. Like, they made it so it's like, oh yeah, by the way, your shield can catch fire.
Yeah, they put a lot of thought into the different shield types and the different, like, I'm going to be honest, the tunics are cool, but overall they're kind of useless. I like that this was a stepping stone for the outfit traits, because one of the future entries kind of did that a lot better, but the shields were cool, because, like, as a kid, the Deku shield reflects things, but it'll catch on fire. So you can use the Hylian shield, but you can't properly block with it.
Until you're an adult.
Yeah.
And
then you get the Deku shield as an adult, and you just don't need the Hylian shield.
And a lot of people forget that Ocarina of Time did kind of act as a stepping stone for a lot of the stuff that they did later. Which
is why it's the starting of the timeline branch.
The other reason why they wanted Hyrule Field to be so big was because this was your first time seeing it in 3D.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Now it's ugly, but it's still beautiful in some way, you know? It's so empty.
Yep. I mean, you got Lon Lon Ranch in the middle.
Yeah.
But
and
otherwise,
poles, I guess. Which, by the way, for a completionist, that was the stupidest thing to have to collect.
Poe souls.
Oh my god, 10 of them. And the reward is another bottle? I could have used the bottle to capture the pose.
Now you can use it for
a piece of heart, you know?
Now you can go to a cow and play a Epona song and get milk that way.
Yay. Yay. Now I have a 4th bottle.
All the different Ocarina songs, though.
I remember all of them. Everyone.
Yeah, no. My favorite was one. What was always interesting to me was that there was always the one where you had to do it as a kid, but you got to make the song. It was the Scarecrow song, and it's one that not a lot of people realize was there. And it's like, it's actually kind of cool, the idea of you being able to go and like make up your own song, and then you can call Pierre when you're an adult.
And then hookshot him.
Yep, and
stab
that
him
actually
in the guts with your hookshot.
Hey, a lot of people also don't realize that right there made the water temple so much easier.
It did, because you could zip right up to that one spot with the lullaby.
Instead of going all the way around like you always had to. If you had the Scarecrow song, which didn't pop up in your thing, you just had to remember what notes you did, which to me was a cool little secret song that you could do.
I always do the Song of Healing in Ocarina of Time. Then in Majora's Mask, I do Zelda's Lullaby.
Oh, that's great.
That way I just remember the notes. It's easy peasy.
That's smart. I usually
instead of just hammering the right button, like do 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 do. It's funny though. Completionist wise, I hated that there was 100 gold sculptures.
Oh yeah, that was the most annoying thing.
It was really like the price was so lackluster.
Well, here's for collecting all 100, yes. However, some of the other rewards you got for collecting a certain amount of them was actually pretty good.
Yeah. But
like,
then,
you got the larger wallet, you got pieces of heart, you got a whole bunch of stuff for that quest. And honestly, in my opinion, that they should have probably
moved them around.
Well, more of, I think that when they did later quests like that with like the large number of the collectibles, they should have probably had it a little bit more like how they had the Skulltulas, where you could get different rewards for having a certain amount of them.
Yeah.
Because after a while, there's no point in collecting all the Korok seeds because you already have all the upgrades and you can't get any more. You only need like, I don't even remember what the number is, but it's not anywhere near 900 and something.
No, it's 900 in Breath of the Wild and then you get a gold poo.
Yeah.
And then 1100 in Tears of the Kingdom, and then you get a bigger gold poo. I'm gonna be honest. I've done a lot of crazy things in Zelda games, but I will never, to this day, for the rest of my life, care about getting all Korok seeds.
All you need is enough to just get all the upgrades to your inventory.
That's it. I think it's like 250 or something.
Yeah, you only need a fraction of that amount to get
them all. It's not even a third. It's ridiculous.
So I'm like, if they had it where it was like Ocarina of Time, where they had like different sort of things scattered throughout for each of for like milestones, that would have probably made getting the Korok seeds a bit more worthwhile.
Yeah, something like that.
Instead of a slap in the face to people who are completionists.
We'll get to that. Where do we branch from the timeline next? Do we go the Hero Falls, the young timeline, the adult timeline.
I will say I do know a little less about the Hero
Fall.
Falls. I know more about the other two.
I can blaze through that one pretty easily.
Like of the games on the Hero Falls, I have played the original, and I have played a little bit of the Link to the Past, but not much.
Oh my!
Yeah, when I say they're like, I love this game series. However, I'm
A lot
like,
of gaps in your resume.
there's it's mainly the Hero Falls timeline. I literally can blaze through all the other two perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've played all the games on the other ones.
Well, it's most of the handhelds are actually on the Hero Falls. Is the thing,
Yeah,
you know?
that's why I do know the little tidbit about how there was supposed to be a third Oracle game, but
Yes, there was, which could have kind of been like Minish Cap, but you know.
all right. Anyway, let's start with A Link to the Past.
A Link to the Past. Oh, my beautiful Super NES game. I love A Link to the Past.
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
It's got a lot of dungeons. It's got a lot of upgrades. It's got a lot of items. Too many items, to be honest, especially the magic, because you only really need like the Quake medallion in order to open one of the temples later on.
Oh yeah, I know.
But,
I do know about the Quake medallion and all that.
And then
stuff.
there's the book that translates the ancient text, and you kind of only use it like 2 or something times, and it's an equipable item. It's a little strange.
Yeah, there is such a thing as too many items.
Yep, there definitely is. But like the characters, the world, I loved that there was a dark world. And the thing is, I love A Link to the Past, but I think A Link Between Worlds did it a bit better. But you know, that's just it's an upgrade is the thing.
Yeah.
I love the pixel art in A Link to the Past, and I play both through the original and the Four Swords. Now I do tend to lean towards Four Swords, but that's just because there's an extra dungeon, which is awesome. That you fight 4 different Dark Links at the end. It was cool to have an introduction to Ganon.
I will say the thing about the Dark World that you mentioned, I have Hyrule Historia, so I flipped open to my page on the Zelda timeline, and it talks about how Ocarina of Time, the Sacred Realm, becomes the Dark World. So that's basically when Dark World gets created, which is.
I always found it strange that it was the Hero Falls timeline. Like, at what point in the story do you think he dies?
That's always an interesting, sort of thought is when.
Because like there's reincarnated Zeldas and Links.
Many, from what I gather, is the belief that he dies fighting Ganon himself.
Yeah, that's the best point, right?
Yeah.
But by that extension, like, Link doesn't have to be an ancestor of himself, nor does Zelda, presumably, because if Link falls, that kind of translates to he dies.
The reincarnation cycle restarts.
Yeah, which is interesting in its own right. A Link to the Past. The biggest problem I have with Link to the Past, though, is the Ice Palace is so big. It's painfully long.
Ice physics.
Yes, and that's the word. Like, it's, oh my god, I can't stand in games when I slide on ice, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's terrible.
Ice physics are great. We love them.
It's so many cool, memorable items, though, and things that would just like go on to be staples in the series: hook shot, bow, the fire rod. Not that it's come back, but it has in a way. But we'll get to that. That'll be my fun little addition at the end. Zelda's pretty memorable. I guess she just kind of gets captured.
I should have pointed that out in Ocarina of Time. One of my favorite things about Ocarina of Time was the fact that it was the first time they really truly gave Zelda a personality.
Yes. Now that's the thing, is that most beforehand she was kind of just the damsel in distress.
Ocarina of Time, nope.
Yeah. Ocarina of Time, she
starts kicking ass.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, like, brainwashes herself to become Sheik and hide from Ganondorf, which was awesome.
You know what always would have been cool? Seeing what happened with Zelda in those 7 years.
That actually would have been really cool.
Like, give us a Zelda game where we play as Zelda and we go back to see what happened in those 7 years.
Now, it's not that I don't have a lot to talk about A Link to the Past. It's just what hasn't been said about it. The dungeons are pretty fun.
We already kind of have talked about A Link to the Past a little bit when you were talking about Four Swords.
For the first, like, the first really good, like, 2D Zelda game. I won't say good. I'll change that to more accessible, because A Link to the Past changed a lot of things from the first game, which is kind of what it is. You know, it's like a better version of the first Zelda game, but it made it so much more accessible, so much more memorable. I wasn't around for the original Zelda, right? So it was literally out before I was friggin' born. Okay, but I was young enough to play A Link to the Past, right?
Yeah. Can I just say, looking at my Hyrule Historia, it's really funny how of the 5 games in the Hero Falls timeline, like 3 of them say the resurrection of Ganon, and the last one says the resurrection of Ganon is prevented. Is the last one.
That's literally what it is, the whole Hero Falls timeline. So how did Ganondorf win? Ganon wins, and then, like...
What happens?
What happened? Did they both die?
I don't know.
Well, no, because I guess in A Link to the Past, he's not being resurrected. He's trying to get the Triforce again. Then it starts from there, because you defeat Ganon at the end.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool seeing like a henchman for Ganon, finally, in A Link to the Past, where it was, I think his name was like Aghanim or something. Something like that. But he was like a dark wizard who was like...
It's always an evil wizard.
Of course it is. It's the easiest trope. What, you want an evil chef?
Okay, don't get... That just reminds me of the fact that my Dungeons and Dragons character currently is aspiring to become a chef in the game.
Well, now I think we got a new plot device for you. Don't forget to follow Tetra Folly, guys, to see where the story goes.
But, and I have heard, like, mixed things about A Link to the Past.
For somebody who grew up close to the Super Nintendo era, it holds a special place. It's still a really good game, but it's there's more accessible options that most younger people will probably enjoy more nowadays. Like, for instance, A Link Between Worlds. After A Link to the Past is the Oracle games.
I will say I have played A Link Between Worlds.
Okay, that's good. We'll get that's after Link's Awakening.
Okay, I was wondering because the Hyrule Historia was before.
So they also switched the positioning of Link's Awakening with the Switch release. They put it before Oracle of Ages and Seasons, which doesn't really make sense. It technically
goes after.
It goes after, because at the end of the Link's game in Oracle of Ages and Seasons, he gets on the boat that he's on in Link's Awakening.
Yep.
I don't care what the Switch version changed. It's the same story. So we'll go Oracle next. Please check Retro Reloaded, Episode 1, Oracle of Ages and Seasons.
And that's also because I remember he posted that thing on Reddit asking for a guess, and that's how I ended up following along.
Same. I was his first.
I was like, I can help you with Zelda games. Oracle games are like the last one I could help you with.
Oh, I was so ready. I was literally in the middle of playing through a linked game.
And then, as we slightly touched upon, there was originally meant to be a third Oracle game. Because the idea was each of the Oracle games were supposed to represent one of the Triforce pieces. So you had Courage was supposed to be the third one, essentially, because the 2 that came out were basically Power and Wisdom.
Yes. And they were called the Sacred Seeds before.
Yep.
And then they changed it to Oracle because they were like, okay, well, we only have 2. We only have time to make 2. We can't make a connectivity thing between Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. They're like, screw it, just make the 2. Should we change the name? Yeah, make them something else.
Yep. And that is the story of how there is only 2 games. So I do very much want to know what the original idea for the third one was.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind an idea of that.
At least just to hear the concept of it.
Yeah. Kind of like listening to Retro Studios on how they wanted to tell a story of the last living Sheik and their journey to become the Master Sword. That's a really cool one. That's from Did You Know Gaming. Go check out Did You Know Gaming. They're not, but we're not sponsored by them. We have no
Oh wait,
affiliation. But I just really like them.
I've seen a lot of their stuff, including a lot of their Zelda stuff.
The canceled Zelda ones are so cool. I love listening about Heroes of Hyrule.
Yeah.
A tactics Zelda game that's more like puzzle and story focused sounds awesome. Oracle of Ages and Seasons. Let me blast through this. Let me blast through this. So you wake up, you're in a different land. The villains are memorable. There's tons of dungeons. You link both games. The story concludes between both. The story changes tiny bit between recurring characters from ages to seasons, from seasons to ages. There's a collectible item called the rings, and if you're a completionist, that sucks.
Lovely.
Yep, it sucks. It's really bad because there's only specific rings you can get from specific games, and specific rings you get from specific linked games, which is when you beat one, then the other. Overall, stories were fine. They were like, offshoot Zelda stories. They didn't feel as mainline and big as like Oracle, like Ocarina of Time, or Link to the Past or anything. But I have very fond memories of them. If you're a Zelda fan, go give them a try. They're awesome. I really like them, and I love how at the end of it, after the Link game, you fight Ganon, which is a difficult gauntlet, by the way, because you have to fight Twin Rova, then Ganon, and then when it ends, Link gets on the boat, and then we go to the next one, which you actually played, right, Tetra?
I have played a little bit of it, not a whole lot. Sorry.
You call yourself a Zelda fan.
I do know a lot about it, like the story and how it works, though.
So the story is an interesting one on this one.
It is, though.
It's so
also
weird.
Kind of, it isn't the idea at the end, like, it's literally called Link's Awakening, because at the end it's like, it's all a dream.
Yes, the whole island, Koholint Island, is all a dream and I hate the fucking name. Sorry for the language. Bleep that, Lance, but I hate the name of the wind fish. It's a whale.
It's a whale and it's a wind fish. I will say that, so usually people have arguments over like what's the darkest Zelda game, and people are like, well, when you think about a Link Awakening, the fact that you meet all these characters, you get to know them all, and then at the end turns out they weren't really there, and you kind of say goodbye to them in a really sad way, is actually pretty dark when you think about it.
Which is a shame because the characters are super memorable, and I love how they have little Mario references in it too. The little Yoshi doll, and then there's a picture of Peach in the remake.
Isn't there like a chain chomp thing?
Yep, it's a bow wow.
It's called a bow. I love how they essentially make a reference to the original name by having it something like that.
There's literally Goombas too, straight up, just Goombas. You just jump on their heads and they get flattened.
And I did vaguely know about the story of the game.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. I've heard nothing but really good things about it.
Don't ever go back and play the original or DX. Just play the remake, please.
Oh, that bad?
Okay. No, it's a great game, but the text speed is so slow and you can't skip it. Like you can press the button for the text to go faster, but it's so slow.
Which Zelda game was it where you could, get murdered by the shopkeep?
That one.
I was gonna say, wasn't that Link's Awakening?
That was one of the darkest things too.
Like you straight up get murdered.
He straight up zaps you to death.
That's if you go back in and you're just dubbed thief for the entire rest of the game. I didn't know that horrible. One.
It's crazy that that's something that they wrote into the game.
Hey, they should have that make a comeback. The idea that you can steal and then just be dubbed thief for the entirety of the game.
That scarred me as a kid.
Murdered. Did you steal the bow?
Somebody told me just try it, and I was just like, well, okay. And I took because I had bought everything by that point. I took like some hearts or something out, and then I went back in. And he zapped me to death. Why does the shopkeeper have lightning powers?
It does make you wonder how he has lightning powers.
I know there's so much to unpack there.
We need the history of the shopkeep and how he has.
Isn't that in the Hyrule story?
That would have been great.
One thing that's really cool is that the boomerang is like a side quest reward, and it one-shots the final form of the final boss.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's actually something you have to go out of your way for.
But they make it so that it's worth going out of your way to do the side quest.
Like you throw the boomerang at it, it's like, when it dies. And I was like, whoa, it actually works.
That honestly, in my opinion, they should do more with side quests. Is make it so that's very obviously like worth going out of your way for. Like Majora's Mask, being able to collect all the masks and sort of that. Like Majora's Mask is the game known for side quests. That one in Wind Waker.
And not to
And-
mention, Majora's Mask gives you the greatest reward.
At the end, if you get all the masks, so they make it
so good.
So they make it worthwhile, and
It's
it sounds
so
like Link's
worthwhile.
Awakening does something similar, where they make it worthwhile to go out of your way to get this item, and it's like that. They should do that more with side quests in general.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love Link's Awakening. I didn't like the Switch, how it had the dungeon building thing. It would have been cool if it was implemented properly, but you couldn't even really do much with it. You had to unlock the pieces. It was weird.
Interesting.
But I do love the color dungeon. I really like that. I like that the original one was Game Boy exclusive, and then when they made DX, which was the color one, if you were playing on a Game Boy Color, you'd have to go to the color dungeon, and you'd have like a green orb enemy and a red orb enemy, and you had to throw them into the proper ones to prove that you were on a Game Boy Color, which is kind of like shafting the kids that couldn't afford it, but still. Then you can get an upgrade at the end where you take half damage or deal twice as much damage. It was really cool, and it's still in the Switch one. It's definitely worth it.
That's good.
Like the original one. It's like the original two. It's let's just say it's a really good thing that there's a Switch remake for that one. Like you can still go through the Oracle games, and the text speed is fast enough because it was the games after Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, and there's a lot more quality of life things. But the thing that really drags down these older ones, like these handheld ones, is having to pause and switch items and pause and switch items and pause and switch items.
Yeah.
Because you only have one slot. Well, two, but I don't unequip a sword. That would be dumb.
That would be dumb.
Except I think in Oracle of Seasons, in Oracle of Seasons, you get an upgraded boomerang, which you can control and also does like a sword strike.
Sounds like fun.
Okay, so you played the original, which is next.
I have played the original.
Although,
I've never beaten it, but I've played it.
A Link Between Worlds comes in before the original.
That one I have almost beaten. I got bored and walked away from it. But
you got bored?
No, my problem is that I have to do multiple. We're pretty sure I have undiagnosed ADHD.
Same.
I can't stay focused on anything for very long, so I kind of jump around between games. And so it takes a really long time for me to complete one.
Sounds like you're a little more ADHD than I am, but when I was young, that's side story. When I was young, doctors didn't know what they knew now. So they didn't really know what ADD, ADHD was at the time when I was getting screened. So the doctors then were just kind of like, I don't know, he seems bored with school. He's got a lot of energy, but he's not like crazy.
Yeah, so my thing was that they knew what that stuff was, but because of the stigma against it, doctors weren't diagnosing it.
Yeah. And now doctors just look at you and be like, yeah, this kid's autistic.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the reasons why I've focused a bit more on painting miniatures right now, is because it gives me something to hyper-focus on. That's small.
I feel the hyper-focus too, yeah. So Link Between Worlds.
So that's why I haven't completed Link Between Worlds. I'm a decent chunk of the way through.
I think A Link Between Worlds did everything that A Link to the Past did, but fleshed it out more and made it almost better.
And I will say the idea of turning into that painting that you got stuck on the wall.
I love that.
That was so cool.
I actually love
so many cool puzzles. And
I know.
What was interesting was that kind of borrowed elements from Paper Mario.
Yeah. It was great. Where you could switch between, in Super Paper Mario, we could switch between 2D and 3D. Yeah, it was awesome.
It literally was like that, and it was so cool to be able to do that. And then there's Ravio, who's just hilarious. But then you find out that
I love the twist. I love
the twist, because here's the thing. I haven't fully beaten the game, but I do know how the full story sort of thing of it.
Okay, and good. Spoiler alert.
The idea, spoiler alert for anyone who has not played. We should have probably said that at the beginning. For anyone who hasn't played these
Spoiler
games.
For any of the Zelda games that we're discussing here from now on. Sorry, guys.
Was that Ravio was Link's counterpart
Rule
from Low
counterpart.
Rule,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that Zelda's counterpart was evil.
Okay, well, she wasn't. That's
She
the
wasn't
thing, you know?
necessarily evil.
So,
she was
I
more
love the
of-
contrasts.
she
Because
was
there's
more
Link, who's
of-
courageous, and then Ravio is a coward. And then
Yeah.
there's Zelda, who is selfless and passionate, and Hilda, who
who's
is selfish. And like she's power driven. She wants to save her people no matter what. But Zelda wants to save her people no matter what. You know?
in a slightly different twist.
Yes.
But I do like how Ravio he does kind of find his courage a little bit at points.
Yeah, like he still steps up.
Like he'll step up for her, and it's actually kind of interesting, especially since when you first meet him, he just kind of barges into your house.
Just takes it over.
He just takes it over.
Just takes it over.
Though I will say the other funny thing was when A Link Between Worlds came out, people were like, "There's a Majora's Mask on the wall. Are they planning
lost
on
my
doing
mind.
it?" Everyone immediately when they saw that, the internet was insane.
I blew up.
Everyone was like, "Are they thinking about doing 3D? Are they going to do Majora's Mask 3DS version?" And then lo and behold, they did.
The funny part is they weren't.
At the
But then
time,
they
but saw the
Yes.
explosion over it.
People like me freaking the hell out and going online being like, "Oh my god, you guys." And then everybody blowing it up, they're like, "Oh, they actually want this. Get the guys that did Ocarina of Time 3D on the phone. Go, 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 go."
Which I will say also, my sister ended up with she had the gold 3DS for A Link Between Worlds.
I have it still too.
She
This thing
still
has
has it. And I was
thousands
so
of hours of
jealous.
playtime.
I was so jealous.
I
I was
had
like, God
to-
damn it.
I had to glue it back together. It's been used so much. One of the hinges on it was starting to break and completely detached. I had to fix it.
Oh yeah, that's what happened to my DS Lite.
Perfectly
Was
functional,
it-
works fine
yeah.
now, but it's been through the ringer.
Yeah, you can tell it's well used and well loved.
I have put so much time onto the 3DS, and A Link Between Worlds is definitely a part of that. But honestly, most of my time is probably Animal
I
Crossing.
do like how they did the contrast between like the low roll versions and the high roll. And I also
Yes.
love the fact that they just called it low roll.
I know. I love that too. I love this.
Such a
It's
clever
it's not
name.
high rule, it's low rule.
Such a clever name, right?
I like that the world was fleshed out. There's characters, you know, there's not just a few here and there. Like there's a town that's desolate. There's blacksmiths and there's a princess and there's Ravio. And by the way, the audacity of Ravio, he barges into my house, takes it over, then has the audacity to charge me to borrow his items or pay him to own them.
I will say, here's the thing, is that my one downside was the fact that you didn't just have access to all the items. Like, you technically did, but you didn't really you couldn't just have all the items with you.
I always found it funny that, like, if you died, your rented items would go away, but by the time I was playing it, I was like late teens. So I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna die. And the challenge gauntlets, Kate, another thing that's great about this game. In the Dark World, there's the challenge gauntlets, and there's like 50 floors, and you have to go through it twice. And you get the best upgrades I think I've seen in a Zelda game. Because when you beat it the first time, you get the super lamp. And it's like, this now does twice as much damage. ... Wait, is this an item? Is this a weapon? And then when you do it again, you get the super bug net. And it's like, now deals twice as much damage. I don't think this is a weapon. And I like the Mays. Mays?
I'm not entirely sure how it's pronounced.
I want to say Mays. Maimai. Mother Mai. Oh, I hate the... Oh. But I like that there was a new collectible, you know?
Yeah.
That game was just so good.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
And it was a good way to bring A Link to the Past kind of back.
Yes. It's beautiful. The art style, the mechanics, the gimmicks. I really liked it. One thing that... Now, I know a lot of people like it, but I'm on the fence about open dungeon order.
Oh, where you can kind of choose. That was kind of like their real first... Because technically in Ocarina of Time, you could choose between dungeons.
Yeah.
At like only certain dungeons.
Yeah.
whereas A Link to the Between Worlds was kind of the big like step towards really doing that.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, go get all 6 of them, and
You can do them whatever order, and you
I
had
just
access
usually
to essentially all the dungeon items.
Yeah, you just had to rent them.
Yeah,
I'm on the fence about it. I usually follow a specific order each time.
yeah.
I don't really care to, like, for instance, when we get to it, Breath of the Wild, like, I always do the dungeons in the same order.
We'll get to Breath of the Wild eventually.
But like in A Link Between Worlds, I do the same thing. It's just, it feels right to me. It feels better. I like that you can upgrade the items again too, with Mother Mai. Yep. I don't know.
However you pronounce it.
Now on to the OG, the original Legend of Zelda.
So I booted up our NES. I'm like, where the hell am I supposed to go?
Yeah.
Because when my dad originally played it, he had the instruction manual, so he had the map for the game.
Yep.
If you don't have that instruction manual, you're screwed.
That's another thing, is that there's like the instruction manual, and then you have to remember you had the schoolyard back then. And like a lot of people don't understand is that back then you could just go to school and talk to people about where you found them, and you probably brought your instruction manual there, and they'd be like, hey, yeah, go over here and draw a little marker where to go and hit this wall or use the candle here. It's a good starting point for the series, but it's super dated.
You can tell. And what was my dad was watching me like struggling through. He's like, here, go this direction, go up, and there's the first dungeon right there. Go in it. And I'm like, okay. That was my first interaction with that game.
I remember when I beat it, I was finally like, okay, I did it.
You feel accomplished.
I don't know if I'll play it again.
But you feel accomplished. You can at least say you did it. I have not done it.
Like, it was definitely a worthwhile experience. I can't belittle that at all.
When you consider how games used to be, it very much was a good introduction for the series.
Yeah, it's like my same feeling on Smash 64. Like, yeah, I'll pick it up and try it once in a while, but I'm not gonna, if I have guys over,
You'll pick it up for nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll pick it up for nostalgia reasons.
I won't pick it up because, like, yo, I really could use some Smash 64 or the original Legend of Zelda. It's just kind of like, I've been there, done that. I know what the experience is like, and I'm glad I went through it.
Yep.
And then the story is Ganon.
There also was like a dragon.
Yeah.
There was just one of the bosses of the first dungeon was just a dragon. I'm like, what the heck?
Literally just a dragon. And the enemies were a pain. It was a good, it was a good starting point.
It was a good starting point for the game. We
can't stress that enough. Not a lot more I can really say on it. The story is minimal because it was an NES game.
And they couldn't really do a whole lot.
No.
Most of it came from the manual.
The manual, yeah. Like, the manual has more substance in story than the game does.
And I will say, Adventure of Link kind of has some of that issue too. I am error.
Yeah. So on to the black sheep of the family. Now, I know a lot of people swear by this game, and they're like, well, you like Shovel Knight, don't you? Like, yeah, I love Shovel Knight.
I played like 5 minutes of this game. And then
I've played through a couple dungeons, but it's so difficult.
I'm like, yeah. Remember when I said that Ocarina of Time was like a good balance of like difficulty? And
this is the bad balance.
This is not. This is not.
The level system is weird. The whole layout is weird.
At least the original game has the excuse of it was the first one.
I know. And they went so off the rails with this one.
But they did fix it in the game right after it a little bit.
Yeah, Link to the Past was a good return.
Because they realized, oh, no one really cared much for this game. And then also there's the I am error that became a meme.
And I am bug. I am error. I like the references to the future of what the games were. Like, there's like Saria Town and there's Rito, but the game overall.
Well, here's the thing: when you look at how the timelines laid out, technically speaking, in the Adventure of Link, they're named after the characters.
Yes, they are.
So like to me, that actually was
full circle.
That actually was pretty clever of them.
I really liked that. The story is interesting. You know, Ganon's coming back again. Princess Zelda's Sleeping Beauty, and then at the end, you don't even fight Ganon, which is always found strange.
And they also have it so that technically there's like 2 Zeldas going on at the same time, because technically you have Zelda. So you have Zelda from the original game, but then you also have Zelda from the Adventure of Link, who are 2 different people, because that one got put into sleep for 100 years.
Yeah, it's really weird. They really didn't know where they were going with the series on this sequel, is how it feels.
Yep.
It feels like they were experimenting and wanted to make it, like they wanted to make Link bigger, you know?
So you could see him.
But I think they were just too ambitious for what they had. Yeah, exactly. It's not even a game I can really say I'll ever beat. Like I hope that I'll play through it someday, but every time I try and I go back, I get to like the first dungeon and it kicks my ass.
Yep.
Like it kicks me so hard.
That's just how that game is.
Yeah. It's about all I can really say about Zelda 2.
And now on to the better games.
Now on to the games that we're definitely not biased towards.
Totally not.
Oh, Majora's Mask.
I love this game. Oh my
goodness.
I
could never understand why everybody had such a problem with the time zone, with the time.
Hey, considering the fact that they basically created the game in like a year,
it's impressive.
I think they did pretty damn good.
Like, it's so impressive.
And I'll be honest, I actually prefer the 3-day time cycle, because they originally were thinking of having it be a 7-day time cycle. And I'm like, terrible. I actually prefer the 3-day because it makes it so that you feel more pressure, which is how Link would be feeling, because it's like, you gotta stop the end of the world in 3 days. How the hell are you gonna do it?
I never found a big gripe with the time crunch.
Cool.
I thought it was so cool. And then you see what the characters do from day to day. Like,
oh my God.
Obviously the most rewarding is Anju.
Oh, Anju and Tafe. Oh my God.
Watch
their story.
I know. It's beautiful. If you watch her when you don't do anything, she like grieves, and then she's like, I guess we're leaving town. She like goes to the like laundry area and sits there and weeps and cries. Yeah. But if you do the side quest, then she's just like full of hope, and her entire habits change, and she stays at the counter. Like, it's crazy. The amount of detail for the 3 days is beautiful.
Ocarina of Time started the trend of starting to give these characters more personality. Like, obviously it started with Zelda. They gave Zelda more of a personality, and then they made it so that each of the sages had a personality. Majora's Mask took that and basically dialed it up. So all the characters that you come across have a different personality.
It's great. Everybody feels so unique.
It makes the world feel alive.
It feels like such a lively town, and like I still have like the Clock Town is almost like a happy place in some way.
And then Skull Kid, his story's really sad too, and it's like when you realize he's not even really the villain, it's
the mask.
It's the mask.
And that mask! They couldn't have made a more like horrifying look. It's heart-shaped, but the eyes and the spikes make it so menacing.
So right now, to the left of where I'm sitting at my computer, I have I don't have the full scale, but I've got 2 Majora's Mask posters. One of them is the like box art. The other one that's directly to my left is the Happy Mask salesman with Majora's Mask looming in the background saying, "You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?"
Oh, I got chills. I just got chills. I love that phrase.
That is
what an iconic phrase.
Oh my God. That is probably, I won't lie, that I think is actually probably the most quotable phrase from the entire series.
Same. I know it's always keep it a secret, but no, it's always you've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? And then just...
Anyone who has never, even people who haven't played the game know that line.
Exactly.
And the first Zelda hat I own, which I still have, is it's got Skull Kid with Tattle and Tail on it.
Not to mention Tattle. I loved Tattle so much more than Navi. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, because Navi was kind of like one-dimensional with personality, and as mentioned, Majora's Mask kind of took the idea of giving the characters personalities and dialed it up to the point where Tattle and Tail both had very different personalities, and you could see them as actual siblings. and
I
stuff
love
like
how
that.
chirpy she is. She's just like, "Hey, stupid, let's go." And I'm like, "Okay."
And I'm just like, I love her.
That's not to say I don't love Navi, because one of the best parts of that game is at the very end where you're fighting Ganon and Navi just goes, "I don't care what magic he uses on me this time. I'm sticking by your side." And I'm like, "Oh, Navi, why did you leave me?"
That's when everyone, and the opening to Majora's Mask. It
Yep.
doesn't tell you, but anyone who's played Ocarina of Time knows.
That he's
Because it
looking for his
says he's
friend.
looking for a very close friend. And it's like everyone knows. Anyone who has played Ocarina of Time immediately knows who that character is, even though it doesn't spell it out. Especially since when it does that line, you hear her little jingle.
Ding, 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 ding.
And it's like, oh my god, that's so sad.
And I love how at the end of Majora's Mask, when you're about to go up to the moon, Tail is like, "Okay, I'll go with you." And she's like, "What? No, we're staying here." And he's like, "We can't let him go alone." She's like, "Oh, okay, Link, let's go."
Yeah. The differences between between Tattle and Navi are very interesting. Also, can I just say I love the fact that their names are Tattletale.
I love them. I love that he's like a dark fairy too. I love that he's different.
As mentioned, with their interactions, you can see them as actual siblings. Anyone who has had a sibling,
yes,
can see that, and it's like, oh my god, I love them. And then Skull Kid, you feel so bad for when you find, like, because on your way to the first temple, the first dungeon of the game is when you find out, like,
they were friends.
The story of Skull Kid, and you actually feel really, really bad, especially when you see that they first came across him when he was essentially freezing to death, and they helped keep him warm.
I know.
And it's beautiful. So sad. And then also the Deku Butler.
No, that one hurts so bad.
That hurts so bad. You don't even realize it because
they got us. Yeah, oh my God. I hate it. It's in the credits.
It's in the credits, but
it hurts so bad.
I will say they do reference it. They do make hints to it.
Yes.
Until the eventual full reveal, but you gotta sit through the credits.
Oh,
I will say that is one reason to sit through the credits on that game.
Absolutely.
Just to see that.
And then I love how the masks get power from somebody who dies in it. It's so messed up. Because you get it from Darmani, and then you get it from Mikau.
And then obviously that's the when Deku it clicks. Butler's son.
You're like, wait, so what about the Deku? Who am I turning into here?
And what's interesting is in that first area after you've gotten turned into the Deku, you see and Tal makes comment, I was like, he looks almost like he's sad, but he kind of looks like you. And then when you're racing, after you race the Deku Butler, he's like, it's almost like I was racing my kid again.
Oh,
I was like, oh God.
No, it hurts.
It hurts, and then it's full, and then the reveal after you like come across Darmani and Mikau is like, so technically these are spirits, and the Happy Mask salesman does make the hint about technically he's like the spirit got sealed away of that form got sealed away into the mask, so it's like, okay, so who are we? I will say that was Andrew and Cafe, super beautiful. Sad. Deku Butler I think has the saddest.
Yep.
That is the saddest thing because
like Skull Kid's origin is sad, but especially the end.
The end credits where you see him basically crying so at this tree.
Where he's kneeling down at the tree. Yeah, it's bad.
It was so bad. I cried. I will happily admit I cried on that. That was the one moment in that game that made me cry. Was that?
I didn't mind the dungeons in this one either.
Oh no, the dungeons were cool.
I didn't mind them. Like, the funny thing is that there's none of them. Now, I know a lot of people hate on water temples, but I still, in this one,
didn't
find it terrible.
It was great.
I actually liked all 4 dungeons, and I love that even the last dungeon, the Stone Tower Temple, it flips over and it's another half of the dungeon.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
And I will say, I do like the Ocarina songs in this game.
Yes.
I do like them a little bit more than the ones except for Blair of Fire. Blair of Fire will still... That one, pretty good when you hear the full thing, but which one? Oh, it's like Soul Bossa Nova or something like that.
New Wave Bossa Nova.
New Wave Bossa Nova. There you go. That's my favorite.
It's so good. And it's like how you get it. It's just so that one's almost beautiful how you get it, like the story of how you get it.
Yeah.
The babies were stolen. Mikau went to go get them. Mikau gets injured. You take his place. You save the babies. They teach you the song. They call
And they give her voice back.
That was probably, like, I know the Anjun Cafe side quest is the most rewarding, but for main story stuff, beautiful. That one was so rewarding.
And New Wave Bossa Nova is actually probably one of my favorite Ocarina songs.
Mine, the greatest of them all, was the first one you learn as the Song of Healing.
That one I do very much like too.
It gives me chills. It's just so it sounds exactly like you would think a song of healing would sound. Like it's perfect.
I will say Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, I still think they probably had some of the best sound design in the games of the entire series. I will die on that hill.
Kind of miss the instruments in the games.
Yeah, I kind of miss them
relic
too.
Of a era past, you know. Yeah. Masks. The whole purpose of the game.
Okay,
a lot of good ones. A lot more bad ones.
Can I point out that they ended up doing something in the game that wasn't even like on purpose with the way some of the masks lined up?
Oh,
the screen.
Sonny loves this one.
Because the Star Fox reference, they didn't even originally plan on it.
No.
And as soon as they saw that, they were like, lean into it.
Lean into it. I love the masks, but I hate how one-time use they are.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, you can still go run around and have fun with them if you wanted to. Like the Brevin mask, I'll go run around with chickens following me.
I literally use it just to get the bunny hood, and I don't change out of the bunny hood the rest of the game.
Bunny hood's pretty nice.
It's S tier with the Fierce Deity mask, but the what's it called? The pig one you get for racing.
The pig one's the Mask of Sense.
Sense, yeah. I knew it was something. And all you do is find mushrooms, and you can get free potions. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, I can also just go get fairies, but whatever. Also, the idea of the great... Okay, we didn't talk about this when Ocarina of Time popped up, but let's talk about the great fairy design. Oh, yeah. Now, I love the differences between games, because...
Now you get to wear her face.
Yes, you can, and it's horrifying.
It is horrifying.
Horrifying. And it's one of the only few dynamic masks, I believe they're called, where it actually changes, it like flows or moves or changes Link's behavior.
Yeah.
Because the troop leader mask is one, because it has tears. The bunny hood flips around, like the ears move.
Yeah.
But the great fairies, oh yeah.
Their design is
again, I was a young boy when I started playing Zelda. And the great fairies, now they scared me at first because that
they scare everyone. That laugh.
It's horrifying. But then you see her and I was just like, oh, hello.
How's it going?
I like the look of her. She's wearing like Vines' clothes.
It might as well be. At that rate, might as well just wearing nothing at that point.
Like, seriously. Those are 2 good points for you there, Tetra.
But yeah, no.
Oh, it's a beautiful game.
It is. I do love, because even the later games, Hyrule or the world that it's set in, don't necessarily feel even as alive as Termina did.
No. It's because of the scripted. It's how they had to make it look, right? Like they had to have set schedules and everything, and it translated so well.
It made the world feel so much more alive than even the later games did.
Like, yeah, even like Elder Scrolls games, like Oblivion ended up putting that in, like almost 10 years later.
Wind Waker did put set schedules in for some of the side quest characters.
Yeah. They tried, but that wasn't the focal point, you know?
That wasn't Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
And the idea was, I also remember reading this, the postman was made specifically so you could see the different times of day.
I love that.
because of how set in stone his schedule was, and it couldn't be altered.
I know.
It literally was so you could see him running around at different points in the day.
I always like
Also-
bugging him.
Also, one of the few games you could accidentally murder someone.
Oh yeah, back on. Sakon, yes.
Yep, you hit the bomb bag he's stealing from the old lady with an arrow, and kaboom!
Okay, so the most recent time I was playing through it, right? I wanted to go help the lady,
Did
but
you
I ended
blow
up
it up?
popping it, and then I was accidentally. That was the one cycle I was like, okay, I'll do the cafe and hand you side quest, but I forgot you're supposed to let him go, so that he brings the bomb bag to the curiosity shop. But I killed him. I'm like sitting there waiting in cafes. I'm like, where the hell is this guy? Oh wait, I killed him.
Just straight up murdered him.
Oh, okay.
And I
gotta
love how
restart.
I love how it's like you just straight up murder the guy and no one cares.
Nobody bats an eye. The old lady's like, well, thank you for stopping him, but I guess the bomb bags are gone. And the guard's just standing there. Can I ask what that guard was doing? Sakon runs past him after robbing an old lady. She screams, help me, help me. And this
then
guard's
you
just like, not my business.
I'm just here to make sure no one
Yep. I have to make sure kids don't go through.
Yep. And then you just straight up blow him up. Honestly, the guy at times deserves to just straight up get blown up. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Robbing an old lady.
I know. What a dink.
Alright.
Majora's Mask. Although, I do have to say this next entry is probably my favorite 3D Zelda game.
Okay, I do have one question though.
Hit
When
me.
as we get into Twilight Princess, who do you think Ocarina of Time Link married?
Probably Malon.
I was thinking Malin. The reason why this comes up is because it's implied that your Link in Twilight Princess is his descendant.
That makes sense. Also, in the manga,
And then-
which I know is not canon, but still
I've read
they show
the
a lot
first,
more of it. Yeah.
I've read the first volume of that.
Yeah. There's like a bonus story at the end of the collection one, and it's like Link going back to help Malon.
But you know, and the other thing is the hero shade is the hero of time is the idea.
Okay. Twilight Princess, in my opinion, has one of the best Zelda stories. I
It
love
does have
Hyrule
a
Field.
really good story, and it makes Hyrule Field's big but not impassable.
Exactly. And there's not a lot to do. It is too big, but there is still things to do. Like it's better than Ocarina of Time. It's a step in the right direction.
It's still a little big.
Yep. Bless you.
But yeah, thank you. But yeah, no, I do like the story of Twilight Princess, and
It's
this one.
great.
Here's the thing: is that people are like, which game has the darker story, Majora's Mask or Twilight Princess? And I'm like, they're dark in different ways.
Yes.
Because
Where
Majora's Mask
is
dark,
about death,
is literally about death,
but Twilight is about defeat.
and Twilight Princess, a lot of people also forget is like the more like it was made for the people who originally grew up on some of these games.
Yes.
So that's why it became like you have a more mature and older Link, and up until Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, he was the oldest Link.
Yes. And I liked it. I love his outfit. I like the Master Sword. I like the shield. I like the outfits. I really enjoyed this game. I liked the transformations in Majora's Mask, but I felt that 3 was a bit much. But Wolf Link, I feel handles really well. And the puzzles with Wolf Link are unique enough. And the dungeons are really good. And it has the best
Companion.
guide companion in the series. Because it's no fault to the other companions. It's just,
I will
it's the best
say
story.
it did kind of continue the trend of giving even the side characters personalities that
Yes.
Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time did. Though in my opinion, not as well as Majora's Mask on it. However, they did better with Midna.
Midna had, obviously she was a pivotal character in the story.
Yeah.
So it's no fault to the other companions Fi's role is tantamount. It's huge.
But we kind of went on a rant about that one character earlier already.
But Midna isn't just an important character to the story. She's almost like Hilda to Zelda, but they're kind of the same from different worlds.
Different realms.
I love it. And the Twilight realm was cool. It's cool learning about the Twilight, I call them, but other people call them Tweely.
I pronounce it Twilight because it's pronounced Twilight.
Exactly, right? That's what you would think. It's not the Twilight realm.
Twilight.
Right?
That just sounds ridiculous.
Minda's sassy. She has personality. She has a story. Ganondorf is menacing.
Oh my god, Puppet Zelda.
Right?
That was
messed up.
That was so messed up.
I was like, well, I can't fight Zelda.
And her design was so creepy.
I know. That was like the most mature and like powerful looking Zelda that I'd seen in the series, right? And like, because you see her straight up holding a sword ready to fight Zant. And then he's like, either put down your weapons or everybody in this kingdom's gonna die.
A lot of people also don't realize how strong of a character Zelda was in that game. Because you have, like, we were talking about how it's dark in a different way than Majora's Mask and it's about defeat. Well, part of the defeat was that her people could live if Zelda surrendered. And I'm like, a lot of people don't realize just how strong of an idea that is for her to have to make that choice.
He literally says, my troops will destroy you. You might defeat me, is what he's saying deep down. You might defeat me, but all my troops will kill your people. And she's like, okay, well, I gotta let the people.
And she chooses in a way to let her people survive, because to her that mattered more. It was,
and I also like the collectibles in this one because the Poe souls are unique to Wolf Link, whereas the bugs are unique to like just regular Link. Yeah, and I just really like how you get different things for both of them.
I will say I am a little sad because of the fact that they originally were going to have Sheik come back for this. And that
would have been cool. But then they just made Zelda just disappear for a bit. And I was really
in my opinion, yeah, they were originally going to have it so that's why in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, they already had a Sheik animation for Twilight Princess Zelda.
Yeah.
Was because they were originally going to put her in this game.
Would have been a good choice, in my opinion. Would have been cool having an extra person, but like, there's so many memorable characters in that game. There's so many memorable dungeons. The items, you get the claw shots, you get 2. I don't just have to hook shot to one spot now. I can Spider-Man my way around.
Yep.
Oh, it was great. And when you get the Master Sword, it's big. It's a big sword, and you hit things with it, and it hurts them. And I like that. Caveman go bang. Enemy
Caveman go bonk.
Right? And I loved it. Yeah. Epona was memorable, and I loved one small feature I loved about being Wolf Link was that you could talk to animals.
Oh my god.
Like you walk up to Epona, and she's just like, I know that's you in a different form, so whenever you're ready, just hop on and we'll keep moving. And I'm like, I can talk to Epona?
We can actually talk to the horse?
I can chat with her? And I talked to her again, and she just has like 2 different lines, but I was like, oh.
The idea that you could even talk to her was cool.
It's like, and being able to pick up the little dogs. Like I could pick up a dog, it does nothing, and when I exit the screen, it's gone. But I could pick up a little dog, and it just wags its little tail.
Oh my god, so cute.
Oh, and I love the dungeon different. This is where they stopped doing like dungeon in volcano, dungeon in forest. It's dungeon because
water.
Yes, because you go to the Yito, is that his name? Yeto? He's the big Yeti.
I know who
you go to his house, and the house is the dungeon. Like his big mansion is the dungeon. And I loved that. It felt like I was in their home, but I had to get through it like it was a dungeon, and it was awesome. And then Uku, oh, what a haunting character that was.
Oh my god. Let's not talk about the weird chicken with the face of a man.
So, this is the thing. What were they thinking? When they were like, okay, we need something to live up in the sky. It's like, how about these haunting human-faced chicken hybrid things that talk and have really dead eyes?
You could have just had the cuckoos.
They could have just been talking cuckoos.
Oh,
but no, they're just like...
And they would have been able to tell you, like, don't think about stabbing me, or I will end you.
Yes.
Could you imagine talking to a chicken?
Yes. You see, I would have loved that. But
Okay,
like her
great.
son is like a little floating head. I'm like, what are you? He's like, hello. If you
They
want to
never-
teleport back,
they
let me know.
They never explain what those things are.
No, it was so messed up. Like there's theories, obviously, that it's the people that remained in Skyloft, right? And then they, I guess, evolved to that.
Evolved chickens?
I don't know. They're
Or they
weird.
got merged with loft wings and shrunk?
I don't know. That's the one part of the game that really throws me off.
That
I like the
face.
weapons too, like the items.
Oh yeah, no, the items are good, but I can't get the picture of that thing's face out of my head anymore. It's just gonna haunt me.
It haunts for a reason. After Twilight, I can go on and on, but you guys know I love Twilight Princess.
Yes.
After Twilight, we got Four Swords Adventure. We
Now, already talked a little bit about Four Swords because of at least Adventure, because of when Four Swords initially popped up. But Four Swords Adventure definitely made it better.
It did. The price to entry for multiplayer was a bit high because you needed
you needed
you needed the Game Boy Advances,
and the Game Boy.
and
you
the
needed
cord.
And the game.
Just one copy of the game.
One copy of the game
which
in
is
order
fair.
to do it.
But
so I've watched a few Let's Play channels that have done this, and one of them actually, one of the guys was doing, also has a vlog channel who was like guest starring on the gameplay channel, and so he's like, "Let me show you this setup to record this," and they had like 4 GameCubes, 4 copies of the game, and like a million cords, and they're like, "This is a fire hazard."
my dream plan, what I want to do one day, is have a Wii with Four Swords Adventure connected to 4 Game Boy players, all with their own small screens, and use those as the Game Boy Advances.
So that's essentially how they did it.
I want that so bad.
But they did it with a GameCube instead of a Wii.
Yeah, that's fair.
So they did it with a GameCube, 4 GameCubes with the Game Boy players, and then little screens to be able to record it is what they did.
That is my dream. My Zelda. That is the cherry on top. I want that one day. I really love how in the game when you go into houses or caves, it goes onto the small screen.
Yeah. That actually was pretty clever. And then you can kind of see on the screen where they are.
Yeah, it shows you like where they're in this building.
Yep. And let's talk about one other thing. What only the Japanese version of this game came with.
Tetra trackers.
Tetris trackers.
Yep.
Which honestly, it was actually the first voice acted Zelda game.
Yeah.
Was Tetris trackers.
How weird. It's weird because they were ready to launch it in North America, but apparently near the end of production, they thought that the cost of translating and doing voice work for it was too high.
Even though the way they were getting around, because in Japanese it was a little easier to say like the name configurations, but the way they were gonna get around it was going Mr. First Letter of Name was how they were originally planning on getting around that.
Yeah, because they had the you would pick your name and they would say it in game.
Yeah,
That's so
but
cool.
they got around. They were gonna get around that by saying Mr. First Letter.
Mr. Fart. Call me Mr. Fart.
But yeah, no, I figured if we're going to talk about Four Swords, we have to talk about the elephant in the room that is
It's
Tetris
a really
trackers.
fun game. Like, it really is. It's hard to get set up, but it's a really fun game.
Not to mention, they do have it so that Four Swords Adventures can be done single player.
Which is great. It's like
And
Crystal Chronicles. Those are my two of my favorite games.
You how to potentially do, because you see the like 4 little guys doing different maneuvers. They kind of teach you the maneuvers that you can do with the 4 characters.
Yeah, like the great spin.
Yep.
And not to mention, it brings back one of the much needed returning characters, Vadi.
Oh yeah, Body.
I don't know if you know much about the story. It's kind of cool.
I do mildly know the story.
It's been years.
And it's
like
literally
decades since I played it.
because Dark Link. Oh, I think he's technically called Dark Link. He like lures you over to the Four Sword because the maidens got snatched away, and he's like, ha ha ha, you're gonna have to grab this. Link grabs the sword, and then it's like, uh-oh.
I love that the concept of he's like, open the sword to release the evil. And then he does, he's like, ha ha ha. And then like Link splits into 4. It's like, oh crap.
Yep.
Now there's 4 of them. Oh, what the hell was I doing?
Yep.
Oh, hey, speaking on that, we skipped over Triforce Heroes.
Don't get me started on that game.
I'm going to be honest. I actually, like, as a Zelda game, it's pretty weak because it's got an offshoot story. But as a multiplayer game, even a single player experience, I didn't mind it.
My thing was that it was trying to be 4 swords and it was failing miserably at it.
Yeah, it didn't do the greatest, but I did like the whole outfit thing, and you can unlock more.
I will say one thing that was really funny. They do reference what happened to Purple Link.
I can't remember.
So you know how they have those, like, if you're doing single player, they have those, like, doll things?
Yeah.
In place of the actual characters. Things. They're creepy as all hell. If you go into, I think it's in town, underneath a bridge, you'll find Purple Link's doll version.
Oh, no. Oh.
I was like, oh, so that's what happened to Purple Link. Okay,
so I actually
he's
beat
dead.
the game single player, and I don't recommend it.
I don't either. It's more fun with more people.
Play it with two other people, yeah.
Yeah, my problem was I never had enough people to play it.
Yeah, that's fair. Four Swords Adventure is a good romp, though. I really enjoyed it. The story's a little light, but it's cool seeing Vaati and Ganon. It was really cool seeing that.
And the Helm King.
Yeah, he came back.
Actually, I think which came first, Wind Waker or Four Swords?
Wind Waker.
Okay, Wind Waker did. Yeah, I like that they brought the Helm King back because he actually was one of the most memorable things about Wind Waker.
Yeah, so we can jump over to the adult timeline now and jump into Wind Waker because this one's got a lot of talking points too.
And one of them is Helm King was an interesting thing. Also, this has my favorite version of Zelda in it.
Tetra, hey? Oh my god. Tetra Folly. Oh. Oh, yep. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
As a kid, I liked Wind Waker. I did.
This is my favorite version of Zelda because this was, in my opinion, still is the game that gave her the most personality, and she wasn't even close to a damsel in distress. She was trying to help out, and she was like this fierce pirate who ruled on her ship.
They didn't even hashtag girl power her. They just made her into this like actual like competent, well-written female character.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. And then the revelation that she is this timeline's version of Zelda, and it's like, oh my god.
I love it because she's so not princess.
She's like the exact opposite. Even when she gets put into the princess dress, she's like, this is weird.
I know. I love it. They made her so much personality.
And also her winks towards people, towards Link usually.
Yeah.
Like when you're about to be launched in a barrel.
I love that scene because he's like just completely chill. And then he realizes he's in a barrel and they're going to launch him. He's like, oh no.
And it's like, hold your horses. If you move around too much, you'll miss our aim.
Mess up the trajectory, yeah.
We've done this 100 times.
My favorite thing, one of my favorite things about it is the personality of like even Link's facial expressions. Like they know how to convey different personalities.
Oh yeah.
Different moods, and it's great. For a cel-shaded game.
Let's actually go back to the scene of him getting launched from the cannon. When they're counting down, you can see the different facial expressions of him going like, hold on, one. When it says one, he's like, oh god.
He closes his eyes. He's just like, okay, let's do this.
And then the scream.
I love that Link has a family.
Oh my god, that was amazing. He's got a little... Oh my god, the grandma. I feel so bad for that grandma. I feel so... But she does give you one of the best items in the game if you bring a fairy to her. So bring a fairy to her, damn it.
The soup.
Yeah.
The double damage soup?
Double damage and heals you.
Yeah. It's awesome. This game has probably the best exploration versus reward like scale.
I can see that.
I feel like Majora's Mask has one like ultimate reward. Twilight Princess has a lot of really good ones, but I feel like in Wind Waker, you want to explore. Like you want to find every island, you want to get every map, you want to see what's in this place. You want to collect things.
I will say I do actually prefer the Great Fairy look in this game.
Yeah, she looks like a fairy.
She looks like an actual fairy compared to literally every
Booba.
other version of these characters. And I like how the overall, like, the queen of the great fairies is a little girl-looking one that's holding a doll of what the other great fairies looks like.
It's cool. It's cute.
And I love how they brought back, the Great Deku Tree. And, like, you can see these different points, like, for that are kind of connected to what Hyrule was in Ocarina of Time. Like, for instance, obviously, Great Deku Tree, that's kind of the evolution of Kakiri Forest there. And it's implied that he is the Deku Sprout.
From the Force Temple.
From Ocarina of Time.
Temple, yeah.
And then Jaboon, he's called Jaboon, but he's likely, based on appearance, probably either Lord Jabba Jabu himself or his offspring.
Yeah. A lot of memorable moments for this game.
Oh yeah, no. And then everyone being like, why are what happened to the fish people? You would think they'd be great in this world.
I love that.
You get to see, like, the Gorons and everything.
The Gorons are just, like, such a backseat in this one, too. They're just like, hey, I'm a traveling merchant. Where's your home? Do you want to buy some flowers?
Yeah. And
then I love how when you bring Medley and she learns the song, it's Zora playing it. I love that. Where it's like, it's literally her ancestry because Zora had to adapt.
Like when Makar plays his, you see the Kakiri.
Yeah.
And I am sad that this is technically the last actual appearance of any Kakiri character. I always like the idea of them.
I like the Kokiri more than the Koroks.
I do too.
Honestly, I prefer the Kikwi just because they go Q Q.
They're so cute.
And I love that the big guy goes Q Q. And I'm like,
right.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So I always like, as mentioned, Tetra's my favorite version of Zelda. She always will be, especially since she's like, I'm no princess. Though, of course, they kind of downgrade her a bit in Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah,
I was pissed about that. I was pissed about that. Just saying.
I think this is one of it's tied between this game and Twilight Princess, which my favorite Ganondorf is. It's almost like he's gone on so long and he's waited so long that he's kind of like, even at the end when you finish it, he goes, huh, I can feel the wind.
Yeah, no, at the end when you finish it, I'm just like, oh my god, that does ironically make the most sense considering how many times Ganon is reincarnated or resurrected in this series. I love the idea of, in one timeline at least, he's like, huh, this is actually not so bad after all.
Yeah, he's kind of like,
he accepts it.
Finally.
And,
this is what it's like.
And to me, that's actually a really good detail for that Ganon, because I'm like, Ganondorf / Ganon has been resurrected so many times in the series, just having one version of him be like, huh, this is actually a good thing, sort of thing, and just kind of accepts it compared to literally every other version of him.
Like at the end of Twilight where he curses you, he's like, you think that this won't happen again, you're sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
But this one's kind of just like, all right, I did it. I've done my course.
He's been around so long.
And I like that he sees who you are when you try to go save your sister.
Yeah.
And he's like, huh, look at that. Looks like it's about time. And he just throws you away.
Yeah. I personally prefer Wind Waker's Ganon because to me he shows a bit more personality than just being kind of menacing.
So as far as personality goes, this Ganondorf has the best.
He easily has the best.
Scary, Twilight Princess has like guy where like, if this guy punches me, I will die.
Yeah, but Wind Waker, in my opinion, has the best personality, and I do feel like Wind Waker's had more of a proper end to his story.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's been around so long at this point, because Hyrule kind of when Hyrule sunk beneath the waves sort of thing.
All he could do is wait.
and all he can do is wait.
It's a
And
really cool detail.
the fact that he at the end is just like, okay, I'm tired. I've had my time. Let's just go with it.
Now, I do like how the certain items translate to your bolt mechanic.
Oh yeah,
Like the grapple, the bombs. I really like those.
Those were cool. Those are really cool.
But we can't stress this enough. Look, the Wii U version is
10 times better
just so much better.
because of this thing called Triforce charts.
The Triforce charts were so bad in the original.
That is what took me years to finally finish that game.
It dragged on so much.
We never owned a Wii U, so I only had the GameCube version.
And then, not to mention the sail speed. Now, in the Wii U version, you get that swift sail, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, I will say the Wind Waker HD remake probably had, out of all the remakes they've done, probably had the best quality of life upgrades.
Like Twilight Princess it's up for debate, you know.
Ocarina of Time, sure, they made the water temple so much easier, but
yeah, that's more of a preference between Ocarina, Majora. I like the HD Twilight more personally, but that's because I feel like it adds a lot more quality of life. But Wind Waker is just leagues better. Like the changes between both versions is just ridiculous.
Yeah, God damn. We did get Tingle back. And we met the siblings.
Yeah, so I always found it interesting that Tingle's very popular in Japan.
When everyone finds him a joke over here.
Unpopular in North America.
Well, I wouldn't say he's unpopular. I think everyone just likes him as a joke character.
I despise him.
Yeah, most people just find him a joke. So he's more of a joke over here.
I hated that he was the only person that could decipher the Triforce charts, and he charged me my arm and leg.
Literally.
And the original was bad.
I will say, though, with that, they did make it so that it was worthwhile to go out of your way to go find the Great Fairies.
Yes, I like that too.
You had to go get one of the Great Fairy upgrades, which was the larger wallet, in order to hold all the money.
Just to get Tingle to decipher the charts.
Yep.
Wind Waker is just, it's a really good one. And it's funny because even when I was younger, I really enjoyed it. I wanted Twilight Princess when I was younger, but I still loved Wind Waker.
Yeah. And Wind Waker is the only game that got like a full trilogy. Whereas
yes, it is.
Most of the other games only got sequels.
The next game is Phantom Hourglass.
Which I shall state again. I hate how they did Tetra wrong.
Yeah, they just like sideline her right at the beginning.
They made her the damsel in distress again. Like all the other Zeldas, and like you took away what made Tetra awesome.
Yeah, like they just immediately like sandbag her.
I do like how they do kind of imply what the Gerudo are doing. Because there was one character who very much heavily resembles the Gerudo.
Yeah.
And she was basically a pirate.
Yeah, I like that. I like Linebeck. I was
going to say Linebeck.
But that's about the best I have to say about the game. The puzzles were interesting. They were cool for the DS. They were kind of wait.
Let's just get one thing out of the way. The Temple of the Ocean King.
So yes, the Temple of the Ocean King is the biggest stain that brings this game down.
Because while technically you don't have to go through it over and over again, it's very much encouraged to.
Yeah.
Because you get more time if you go through it over and over again. Compared to how much time you'd have in the temple if you did the like fast travel thing inside it.
Yeah.
After you get each floor.
It's the biggest stain of it.
Yeah.
But I did like the dungeon puzzles, and I remember the one part got me because I think it's the first time you go to the Temple of the Ocean King, and you're supposed to get the map, right?
Yep.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm tapping the screen, and it shows the map on my screen, and then it shows the map reversed on the top screen.
Oh, it's the mark. To me,
and I'm so confused.
I'll be blunt. That actually is a clever puzzle when you think about it.
It's super clever.
but most people wouldn't immediately think of it.
I sat there for 10 whole minutes staring at this, tapping the screen, pressing buttons.
I actually was going to mention this puzzle because I personally love it, considering the fact that this was the first Zelda game on the DS.
Yeah, and then I get to the point I'm like, wait a minute.
You got to choose, and you shut your
I
DS.
slowly close my DS and I close it and I open it and it's on my map and I was like, that's so clever.
It's a genius thing.
I love that. Like, it's kind of a really good show of tech is what Phantom Hourglass is.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a shame that the story falls a little flat, being something similar to Majora's Mask being, oh, you're in another world. When this one ends, everything's going to go back to normal. Are these islands real? We don't know.
I will say I can't remember your fairy companion's name.
I can't either.
Celia or something like that.
I think it's Cecilia.
Okay.
Or Celia.
I will say she does have the best little twist in the game where it's like, oh, she turns out to be one of the spirits or whatever that you're looking for. That I think was clever.
I just didn't really care for the boat mechanic.
I like the idea that you could change the look of the boat.
That was nice. But I think that the following game really made it better.
However, it was the other problem with Phantom Hourglass was that it was basically a roll of the dice what treasures you could find in the world.
Yeah.
Which we were talking about in one of the other games previously, how it was like a mechanic where it's like lottery system.
Minish Cap.
Yeah, and this is very much like a lottery system because you also don't know, because you can sell the treasure you find, but each one is worth a different value each time you play the game.
Yeah.
So it's literally random what treasures you find and which ones are the most valuable or most helpful to you, and stuff like that. So cool, you made it so that's different for each replayability. However, it's a pain.
It's one of those games I've played a couple times, and I don't really think I can see myself going back again.
I probably wouldn't unless I was straight up just wanting to play through the Wind Waker trilogy.
That's the thing.
In its entirety.
I kind of skipped this one because
I personally prefer the next one.
Same, which I want to jump to momentarily, but the problem I have with this one is they mulligan it at the very end.
Yeah.
Where nothing really mattered that you did in that world, or did it?
Though you do see Linebeck's boat.
Which is nice, which is why Spirit Tracks is a superior game.
Oh my god, it's so superior. First of all, you get Zelda as your companion.
Which was so good.
And the fact that she's a ghost that can possess things, oh my god, that was so cool.
It was so cool. Like, I like that she's the guide character. She'll pop up and be like, I think we should try doing this next or this next. But then you go to the tower and she straight up possesses the armor. And you have to make little pathways for her to go. And then you simultaneously do stuff.
This did a lot better at utilizing the DS.
Yes. It was like, the first one felt like a tech demo, but this one feels like this was what they were working for.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Spirit Tracks takes place 100 years after Phantom Hourglass.
They make a new Hyrule.
They make a new Hyrule. They founded Kingdom. So this Zelda is the descendant. Though I'm sorry, but can I just point out one really weird flaw with this? And that is, one, who does Tetra have a kid with? And two, why does your main character look like Link?
I know.
Because I'm like, I'll be honest, some people ship Link and Zelda. I personally always ship like Wind Waker Zelda with Wind Waker Link, just because to me they were they were kind of a match. So it's like, so how is it that this guy randomly looks like you, and then Zelda obviously resembles Tetra a bit because it's, the Toon Zelda. Like, well, how does this work? And then your character is hanging out with Nico. Yeah,
so the weird part about this one is that they both because obviously Zelda's a descendant of Zelda, but they also make it sound like you, the new Link, are a descendant of the old Link.
which then it makes everyone question.
Question it, right? Like, I like to imagine that they were trying to do something, but then they were just like, you know what? I'm gonna go see other people, and Link's just like, yeah.
Because Link doesn't talk.
Link doesn't. Well, not until the last two entries, but yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I love the music of this one, the overworld theme where you're on the train.
And this is also, let's see, yeah, no, I like the overworld music and also the idea of the fact that you're on a train.
Yeah, it was really cool to see like something more modernized, you know?
Well, here's the thing is that a lot of people, so for instance, I'm going to bring up Avatar The Last Airbender because that's most people's big complaint about between it and The Legend of Korra was that it kind of did a way too big of a jump.
Oh, like technology-wise.
Technology-wise.
Gotcha.
Whereas this actually is because they had boats in Wind Waker, but then they had a steam-powered boat in Phantom Hourglass. So you can actually see the natural progression to steam-powered trains.
I like that.
Like you can actually
I never noticed that.
So that's because that was one of people's biggest complaints with like The Legend of Korra was the fact that it had such a big jump in technology in like, it was like what, 60, 70 years between that and Avatar in the first series. So it's like, but in this one you can actually kind of see the progression.
Yeah,
because
that's cool.
you can kind of see, because Linebeck's boat is steam powered is what it is, and then Linebeck's boat was real because you see it at the end after the credits in Phantom Hourglass.
And there's what's his name? It's not Linebeck in Spirit Tracks. Is it?
No. Are you talking about the train conductor dude?
Yeah, his name's like Blindbeck or something stupid. There's a Linebeck in Spirit Tracks.
Yeah, but your main like partner guy, he's descended from the secondary pirate dude in Wind Waker.
Yeah, it's just in Spirit Tracks there is a Linebeck descendant, and I can't remember what his name was. And
to me, but you can see the natural progression of technology, and that makes sense. Whereas compared to like, as I was using Avatar, the world of Avatar as an example, in the original one, there was some slight steam powers stuff. Some areas were more technologically advanced than others, but they didn't really have a whole lot.
Korra, did they have like steam power, or was it beyond steam power?
They had cars.
Cars. Okay, that is a bit of a jump. Yeah, okay.
I'm guessing. Have you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender?
No.
I would recommend it because there are some like big machines and whatnot that they do manage to make. That's more, but then they jump to like cars, and it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's a bit big.
That's a bit of a big jump.
I remember some of the bosses in this game, but I remember one vividly. It was the one that follows you, the spider one that follows you down the train tunnel.
Oh God,
that one messed me up.
That gave me nightmares.
That one was like, I was a full-grown adult playing that, and I was just like, oh my God, die!
When in doubt, kill it with fire.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think Spirit Tracks is definitely a game that, if you're a big Zelda fan, you should give it a try.
Yeah.
You can skip Hourglass, honestly. Phantom Hourglass is one of the least memorable games I've played in the Zelda series.
I can agree, aside from the fact of how much you hate the Temple of the Ocean King.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is everyone's agreement. That temple sucks.
Yeah. One thing, Spirit Tracks, I hated the flute.
Okay, I mean, props to them for coming up with a way to use the DS mic.
It was clever, but I ran out of breath.
Most people ran out of breath.
And like it was almost unforgivingly precise that they wanted you to blow the notes in. Like I felt like I very slightly messed it up, and they said, no, try again. I was like, this is the best I've done in like 10 tries, man. I'm running out of breath.
Yeah.
Got anything to add for Spirit Tracks?
Aside from, I also remember nearly suffocating from trying to blow the damn flute.
On to the big ones.
Nope. All right.
On to the big ones. Now, I do have to give props where credit's due, you know? I think Breath of the Wild was a great step for the Zelda series, and I love Breath of the Wild. I think that they did a lot right. But I think that what they took away wasn't really worth the cost. Because as everybody's main gripe is, the lack of dungeons really irked me.
And you know how every time we mention Hyrule Field, we complain. I feel like this is an example of
this.
It's too big.
It's too big.
Like,
now,
my thing is that Twilight Princess, okay, you could do some stuff, whatnot, and it was bigger than Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time just had long range in it. But still, those two pale in comparison to Breath of the Wilds.
They do always have things to find, things to do, and it's a very well-made open world. But that being said, they could not have picked a worse collectible than the damned Korok seeds.
And then they give you literal crap for it.
Listen, I'm all for collecting a couple hundred of something. That's fine. But 900...
when you don't even get any rewards.
Them. And the most egregious part is that you get a literal golden poop that does literally nothing. Now, if it unlocks something in Tears of the Kingdom, it'd be different. Like if it scanned your save and it was like, yeah, you got the Korok seeds, here, you get a bonus thing. That would be different. But then they did it again with more Korok seeds. Yep. And they did the same thing. The fact that people out there are like, I got all 2,000 Korok seeds. And I'm like, why would you... What is this a title?
Why would you do that?
Like, yeah, I got all of them. And I'm like, you shouldn't be proud. I'm sorry. You shouldn't.
You really shouldn't.
The world of Breath of the Wild is beautiful. I love the characters, the champions. Unfortunately, like, the world is so dreary because you lost. And I love that. And one of my favorite things in Breath of the Wild was, now this is going to be a little controversial, but the amiibo functionality. Because I had beaten Twilight Princess. I had beaten the cave, the challenge cave. And I made sure my Wolf Link had 20 hearts, all filled. So when I start Breath of the Wild, I get Wolf Links by my side. And I loved that. Having two Links work together.
Yeah.
And then they took it away in Tears of the Kingdom, but we'll get there. The outfits were cool, but they were a little superfluous.
We mentioned briefly when we were talking about Skyward Sword that Skyward Sword was the kind of the epitome of starting the breakable items. However,
you want smoke?
Oh God,
we'll get smoke. Now, weapon durability in games, it can be done right. Nintendo knows that.
Why did they make the Master Sword break?
Why did they make this so bad?
Yeah.
Like, a steel sword should not break after 20 swings. It's insane. And the fact that you can break any weapon and it's gone. Or any shield and it's gone. And then the Master Sword having charges, yeah, I get it. You know, it's dumb, but I can accept it. It runs out of power. But they did this one so badly. If they had doubled all of the durability, it would have felt fine. Like, I don't feel like I can get through an entire dungeon, quote, dungeon, without having to replace a weapon.
Yeah.
It's painfully bad. And they didn't even change it much in Tears of the Kingdom. I love so many of the weapon details. Like, the royal arms are so cool. And then, like, the royal guard ones, they're like the black versions of them, even stronger and less durable. They were so cool. But, like, I didn't even want to use my best bows in case I needed it. It's the ultimate potion of healing in a Skyrim playthrough. You save it. You
never know when you use it.
And then you beat Mirak and you have 12 still because you used none.
Yeah.
Like, the Guardians were cool. The setting was cool.
The Guardians were cool. They were awesome.
And I'm going to be honest, I absolutely love the Master Cycle Zero.
Oh yeah, no, that was cool.
I like a lot about this game. There's a few things that prevent it from being the greatest Zelda of all time for me, though. Although, now here's where my opinion for it comes in. This is my favorite Zelda. And it's not because she bends over to pick up the frog. It's because I actually have like an autograph from Patricia Somerset on my Breath of the Wild case. And I think she did well. I think that the story was really good for Breath of the Wild, but I really wish there was a linear path. Like there was a way to recover the memories and do the quests in an order.
Can I just say what my least favorite dungeon was?
Was it the Thunder one?
Yes. Guess who went out of their way to go get the rubber armor?
I despised that fight.
Why do you think after dying about 25 different ways, I was like, and this is how come, now I'm going to go look up how to get the rubber armor because I know this is a thing in this game.
Thunderblight Ganon was like a hemorrhoid to me.
He was the worst.
And I always play, this is one of those ones where I'm on the fence about open order games. I love that you can do it, but I always do it in one specific order. I always go with the Zora, then the Goron, then the Rito, then the Gerudo.
Yeah, I usually end with the Gerudo.
I have to. It's the worst one.
My thing I will always tell people if they're playing and they want to do the Gerudo first, I'll always straight up say, go look up how to find the rubber armor and go find the rubber armor before you try to do that fight.
It's terrible.
Because, I mean, I like the idea of metal making you weak to electricity. That makes sense. That actually makes sense. However, making it so that you get one hit KO no matter what you're wearing?
And then it drops your weapons.
Yeah.
That drove me nuts.
So that's why, as I stated, I went out of my way to go get the rubber armor so that I did not have to worry about getting electrocuted.
That was terrible. I feel like this game had a lot of rewards that you could earn, like upgrading your outfits, and is that it?
There's essentially upgrading your outfits.
You find new outfits and upgrade outfits. I guess that's about it.
This leads to the obligatory, let's talk about the Great Fairies.
Okay, I actually really like these Great Fairies. I'm glad that it was a bigger girl.
It's
They made them super SA though.
You think?
Like super uncomfortably forward. Like you don't know what happens when she pulls Link into that fountain, but you know what happens.
You see hearts.
When she pulls Link into that
you
fountain.
see hearts.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
And Link does not seem willing. It's not. It's really weird.
It is. It's something.
I love the towns in this game, though. They feel very alive. Like it's.
I will say I do like this look of the Great Fairies more than I do Ocarina of Time, Majora's Masks. However, I still prefer Wind Waker's Great Fairies.
Yeah, they look like fairies.
Yeah, these guys, they're big ladies in a flower.
Yeah.
Where's the wings?
I'm glad they got some bigger girl representation, though.
But yeah. Oh,
now,
God.
Calamity Ganon.
He's an interesting.
So I really liked the first battle. I'm going to be honest. I liked both battles with Calamity Ganon. It's a bit of a hot take, but I know that the second phase is just shoot arrow at point.
I do like it too.
But the sheer scale of him makes it so cool.
Yep.
And then Calamity Ganon, like when you fight him in Hyrule Castle, he's horrifying.
Yep.
Like he is without a doubt the most horrifying looking boss in the Zelda series. Like I don't even know how to describe what that is.
Yep.
This gross amalgamation of evil and mechanical and spider legs, and it's so twisted.
Yep. It's a thing, but and I also like the idea of the little divine beasts each being like possessed by a different like part of Ganon technically.
Yeah, those were cool.
Except Thunderblight Ganon can go
straight to hell.
Straight to hell?
Straight to hell.
But yeah, no, I do enjoy Breath of the Wild. It's Breath of the Wild.
It's a beautiful game, and I understand why.
Oh, it's a beautiful game, but there's some things of it that don't really work. And the fact that they basically mock people for wanting to 100% a game was kind of that's the thing that pissed me off.
That's a really big gripe for me, and I know that a lot of people rave about how they got the Korok seeds and how it's not that bad and this and that, but like It's
the
just
fact that they mock you for it.
it's so egregiously middle finger to your face.
And how can you not see it?
It's weird. Like, it's almost like they're pulling blindfolds over their eyes. Like, I'll do it again in Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo.
Yeah.
I like the enemy diversity. I like how they get stronger. There's a lot of good things about it. It was a good entry for an open world Zelda, and I think it was well done. There's just a few points that prevent it from being the best Zelda game for me.
Yeah. One of them being the Korok seeds.
Then they introduced Gary's mod to Breath of the Wild, and now we have Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, good God. I honestly think Tears of the Kingdom is worse.
I think so too, personally.
I was like, why?
They gave us the Zonai. They gave us so little about them, and then then there was dragons. We're not going to tell the story spoilers of this one, because some people still probably will avoid spoilers for Tears of the Kingdom, because it is still, in my opinion, relatively new.
It's like, you get the Zonai, cool, and dragons?
Yeah.
But then Breath of the Wild did have dragons too.
I really like what they did with the Master Sword in this game. I like how you get it. I like how it's attached to the story. I like how instead of hearts, you need stamina. I like how written it was, you know?
Yeah.
And then you fuse things to it to make it stronger, which I really liked.
The ability to fuse random items to weapons to make basically whatever the hell you needed was kind of cool.
Here's why I, Wobeeyert, have a harder time loving Tears of the Kingdom more than Breath of the Wild. They introduced another time travel thing, and it was weird. The champions were very cookie cutter and expected. There was no surprises there. The fusing mechanic and the Zonai device mechanic is really cool and really diverse. They put a lot of thought into it.
And now people just make cars to go flying across the
world. Yes, that's the thing. I am a full-grown adult with not a lot of free time, and I don't have a mechanical engineering degree. When I was younger, I would love to build stuff like this. Like,
with Legos.
Child me would build robots in Tears of the Kingdom. But now, present me, I literally make that little glider with the 2 fans and the control pedal.
And that's it.
And that's it. I wish I was exaggerating. I literally did that for the entire Underworld. Speaking of which, it's pretty forgettable.
Yeah.
The Underworld's cool. It's funny because you think you're going to the sky, but there's like 20 sky islands.
Can I just point out they missed a really, really, really big opportunity by making the Skyworld Skyloft.
Why could we not at least find ruins of Skyloft?
Skyloft. That's when I saw the trailers for the game. I'm like, are we going back to Skyloft? Are we going back to Skyloft?
Why did they
That was
literally been a Loftwing bones.
Like you didn't even have to technically, because they're like, oh, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are its own little separate timeline, which, in my opinion, they could have probably found a way to just go like, oh, by the way, something big happened and all the timelines merged. But even then, it's like, so the idea of Zelda having this the goddess power doesn't make sense if it's its own timeline without Skyward Sword. You need Skyward Sword for that.
I like to still put Breath of the Wild at the end of all 3 timelines. No matter what happens, they all converge here.
I saw some people say stuff about how if they had made the Hyrule Warriors games canon, that actually would have merged. It would have merged the timelines together.
I actually want to bring that up at the end. That's my final game I'd like to bring up after Tears of the Kingdom.
But yeah,
I didn't like what they did with the time travel of this one, because it kind of felt like they did shoehorn it in, and they changed established lore, and it felt so off-putting. The story was all over the place too.
But as mentioned, it's like, why couldn't you just give us the ruins of Skyloft? Because that at least would have made sense, considering, as mentioned, the power, the goddess blood and the power originates story-wise in Skyward Sword. So
Yeah.
even if all of the other games aren't canon, Skyward Sword has to be the one canon to it.
Not to mention, the Master Sword whispers like Fi.
Exactly.
What I'm okay with thinking. So me personally, now I just put Skyward Sword, then Breath of the Wild in its own thing.
Yes, but Skyward Sword has to happen.
Yes. There's the goddess statue in the ruins.
Exactly. So it's like Skyward Sword has to happen in order for Breath of the Wild and everything to happen. It
Yes.
has to be Skyward Sword, and
Yes.
they did not give us the Ruins of Skyloft.
I'm fine with Skyward Sword leading all the way to Breath of the Wild, even if it's late in the timeline. But like the fact that they're just like, no, it's his own thing. I'm like, hey, but it's not.
Because you need, like, sure, they reference other games, like you got the Ruins of Lon Lon Ranch in Breath of the Wild, and like you got the Rito Zora in one place somehow, because of evolutionary paths.
Divergent evolution.
Yep. But it's like, in order for the game to exist story-wise, you have to have Skyward Sword at some point.
I liked Tears of the Kingdom, but I felt more with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild was better. A million times better.
I really feel like Breath of the Wild is a game I go back to more frequently than Tears. I've only beaten Tears once. I played through the entirety, did all the story, I did a bunch of side stuff.
I did not finish Tears of the Kingdom, but I know the full story of it.
The thing is, I got it day one.
I got it day one too. Like, I literally walked to the store, drove to the store, walked to the electronics section. I'm sitting there with my Zelda hat on, and they're like, you're here for Tears of the Kingdom, aren't you? I'm like, yes.
Yep.
So they just went and grabbed it for me.
I played through a bunch of it, and then I put it down for like a few months.
Yeah, I haven't picked it up again since like that first month, because
I got
bored.
If I was younger, if I was in my teen years and I had the time to get crazy into the fuse mechanic, I would. But I don't have it now.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is more, I guess, linear experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. That about wraps up the entirety of the Zelda timeline.
Yep. And then we got the Hyrule Warriors game.
I do have to say I love Hyrule Warriors. I love that it's so good.
I actually need to finish. I actually think I have both of them. I have both Age of Calamity and the original one.
I forgot about Age of Calamity. Okay, Age of Calamity is...
I'll be honest.
I probably won't go through and play it again, but I 100%ed it.
I love it more than Breath of the Wild, honestly.
That's fair. I find that it's such a good love letter to like Breath of the Wild and Zelda overall. I love it.
I know, it's so great. And then the original Hyrule Warriors brought together all these characters that you hadn't seen in one place all at once.
I have all three versions of Hyrule Warriors.
I got the definitive edition on my Switch.
I had it for Wii U, played the crap out of it with my brother. I got the DS one, the 3DS one. It was so painful. And then I finally got definitive, and I still play it like all the time.
Yeah, no. The definitive edition, on the cover, I'm like, yes, give me all my favorite characters.
There's so many good characters. There's so many good costumes. The levels, the enemies, the weapons. There's so much to unlock. It's just this perfect love letter to the Zelda franchise in general.
It's literally a love letter.
It is. It's a fun gameplay. It's a Warriors game. It's just, I want to kill 100 enemies really quickly. Oh, have I got the game for you?
Let's go murder everything.
I'm going to destroy armies in like 5 minutes, and it's so good. Even the bosses are good. And then there's the boss mode where you play as Ganon.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
Oh, so good.
It's great.
This has been a really fun time, and I'm glad I could just gush about the Zelda series.
That was a lot of fun.
This was good.
I remember at one point we literally, like, back in the early days of the podcast, you and I were like, let's have a long conversation about the Zelda timeline.
Long conversation. Now, was it disjointed? Who cares? Everybody who's a Zelda fan and wants to know about the Zelda timeline, it's not hard to figure out. It's really not.
Sorry, Lance, for you having to deal with this super long episode.
You have to listen through all of it, Lance. All of it. Oh, one thing for Lance's sake, I do have to say, Breath of the Wild is good, but I think the open world was done better in Final Fantasy VII. I just can't help but compare.
I'm like, I have never played any Final Fantasy game.
Oh man, Final Fantasy VII is Lance's favorite game. Obligatory shoe in there.
So I have obviously heard a million times.
Oh, and
it's kind of obvious.
I didn't like Adventure of Link because mad cause bad. There you go, Lance. I did them all for you, bud. All the references.
All the references.
So a little side note, we looked back and we forgot to bring up Echoes of Wisdom.
Yep.
Now, granted, it definitely deserves a spot in the Zelda games, but I liked it. I didn't beat it.
I didn't beat it either.
It's cool in concept. Yeah, that's the thing.
It's here's the thing. The idea of potentially killing something with a chair was kind of funny.
The first time
around. But then when you're like, I have to make a stack of tables how high?
Yeah, and I felt the puzzle solving was unique, but they tried it too much. And I feel like when it comes to fighting, the combat, you just pretty much pick your two favorites.
So I also will say, and it kind of shows, this is the first game that Miyamoto wasn't a part of.
Yeah,
it shows.
It shows. It really
very
does.
much shows. Like the mastermind behind all these great series, and it's like, and the first time that he kind of took a backseat and didn't really have anything to do with it is. It's better than the. Oh my god, we didn't mention the CDI games.
We're not going to. We're going to pass that.
We're going to pretend those don't exist.
It's not a bad game. Yeah, it's not a bad game by any means. It's just it's kind of dragged out unnecessarily.
And also, they didn't make Zelda really this cool character. To be honest,
they kind of just like the staff is more of the main character than Zelda, really. She just kind of carries it.
And it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it really
Zelda
is.
deserves her own game where she's the hero.
Like a hero, not... She was helpless. Unless she turned into Link.
Yeah.
Like, that was the weird part. It was cool. I wish that you could just choose between using the staff as an item and Zelda would actually just use a weapon. I'd like it, but it's not phenomenal.
Yeah, here's the thing, the idea was great. Because the idea of being able to just summon up whatever item you wanted was great, and they did get clever with some of the puzzles. However, they tried too hard with the mechanic, which is why I think, I'll be honest, Echoes of Wisdom, at least of the more modern Zeldas, probably has the least completion rate.
Yeah, I can see that. And I stopped when I had this ridiculous laundry list of items and enemies. Then I got to a point where you give this guy materials and he teaches you new ones.
You got farther than robots. I did.
And I was just kind of like, okay, I think I'm going to take a break from this for a couple nights, and I still haven't picked it up.
You got farther than I did.
The world's beautiful, and the graphics are beautiful. Yeah.
I kind of got lost wandering around. I'm like, where the hell am I supposed to go?
The characters are nice. The quality, everything looks beautiful. The characters have personality. It's just the summoning mechanic was terrible. I'm sorry, that's it. I will say the idea that you could summon up monsters to fight for her was actually kind of a cool concept. The ability to basically summon up your enemies to fight for you instead. Yeah, that was cool. Until you get a Dark Nut, then you just don't summon anything else.
Dark Nuts, also known as the things that I believe Zelda possesses in Spirit Tracks. For a reason.
It's fine.
I mean, but yeah, it shows that Miyamoto wasn't involved.
Which is a shame.
Way too much.
I mean, he has been pumping out gold since the late 80s, so...
Since the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, that about wraps it up for Echoes of Wisdom for me.
Me too.
Well, guys, Tetra, do your plugs.
I haven't gotten back into streaming yet, but eventually I'm planning on it probably this month to get back to streaming. I've got my Twitch channel, The Distracted Daffy Gamer, over on Twitch. I haven't been on since July because of, well, I don't do well with heat, and it got really warm.
Yeah, I feel that too. I'm in BC in Canada, and it's like 40 degrees regularly here, which is like
All right, you're in
all around
Celsius.
100
Yeah,
for you guys.
Yep.
Pretty much the same for me. You know me. I am the ever returning ever returning guest of Retro Reloaded. Wobeeyert. Do not expect me to stream anytime soon. I get married in 2 days. Yay me!
You have a thorn in the side, clearly. Just popping up, always there.
I'm always here. I love it. I'll always be here for Retro Reloaded. Thank you for your support for Lance, guys. I love you, Lance. Get better. Rest your throat. Tetra, thank you for this.
Don't overdo it, Lance.
Tetra, I had a great time. Thank you for being a guest on this today.
This is a lot of fun.
All right, Lance, do the outro.
Well, folks, that's game over for this episode of Retro Reloaded. Thanks for joining me on this retro adventure. If you loved today's trip down memory lane, then consider helping me keep the nostalgia alive by supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/retro reloaded. You'll get early episodes, bonus content, and a chance to pick the next game that we reload. Feel free to let me know your thoughts about the podcast, and until next time, keep those controllers charged.